All right. Welcome, everybody, to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA, and alongside with me, as always, my co-host, King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Now, you guys know the drill here, all right? If you want to join us, you go to Google Hangouts, send us an instant message with the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Don't forget also, we got a Patreon page. All right, guys, if you want to help us get that call-in show that we've been trying to get off the ground for about a couple of months now, that would be fantastic, man. Get a bunch of new people, bunch of psychos in the night to tell us their stories and their crazy theories. That'd be fantastic. Now, of course, don't forget to check out these podcasts via Stitcher and Spreaker, iTunes, Google, no, what's it called? The other one, Apple Streaming or whatever the
Google
fuck.
Play Music.
Google Play, thank you. And you can download them there. No need to waste bandwidth while you're in the bus, in the car, in the gym, or whatever. You can download them and listen to us talk shit for about 3 hours. So guys, thanks again for joining us. I want to give a shout out to the Shepherd of Sons, Apology Man, Jay Perez, Reverse Lee, Michael Palaco, and many more to come, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people here because we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. This heavyweight fight that everybody was expecting. It was talked about prior to the fight. Tyson Fury notched a 10-round decision against Francesco Pianeta, and he effectively set up a mega fight against Deontay Wilder. We're going to be talking about this throughout the night. Probably going to go on for about 2 hours. Then again, we always say 2 hours and we end up doing like fucking 4-hour podcast. But hey, that's the way we do it. All right? So if you want to say something about all this, you know the drill. Let's see what people in the chat room are saying. Michael Palaco says, I'll give you $50. Tell me how. You know, the last time somebody told me, I'll give you $50. I had to do some shit afterwards that I'm not proud of. So every time, I'm a little triggered right now. Boxing Killers TV says Gypsy King. Jay Perez says the Chicken Gate. Yeah, I didn't even know what's up with that. The whole chicken. I heard he threw a chicken at Wilder or something. I mean, I didn't even. So hopefully somebody can enlighten me on what happened right there. Nino Gadget says, Quasimodo predicted all this. Yeah, Quasimodo. I think you're talking about what's his name, Nostradamus. I know what you're saying though. It's a reference to The Sopranos. Brandon White says, what's good, BDA in chat? By the way, Brandon, you were over at Ring IQ's boxing page and you suggested that maybe we should host a low plays versus, what's his name? Well, versus Ring IQ. I don't know if you were being sarcastic or not, though. Boxing Killers TV said, Fury said he wants another fight before Wilder. I smell bullshit. Well, listen, they said the fight's going to happen. What do you want from us? I mean, all we can do is wait and see. Yeah, there's going to be people pressuring both men on their Instagram pages or social media pages for them to get the fight done. So whether they want to do it or not, hey, who are we to really be able to move, fucking move the grinds or what do they call them? The screws, whatever. Brandon White says, I was serious about the debate, BDA. Listen, if you guys can talk to Ring IQ Boxing Talk, I don't talk to the guy. The only time I spoke to him was when we were setting up the Ring IQ versus Precise debate. So, hey, Low Place versus Ring IQ. Low Place always wants to come on. He wants to debate people. He wants to talk about his agenda and his theories. Well, let him come in against Ring IQ Boxing Talk and let's make it happen. You guys we got numbers here in terms of quality of members. So you guys get the word out there. Spread the word. We can host another debate over here. Now, of course, I would be moderating the debate. I hated moderating the last one. I'm not cut out for this type of shit. I could improve, but I don't want to. All right, so we'll probably get Bucho to do it. Bucho, well, actually, he's not here right now. Bucho,
I'm here. I'm just sending the links.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I would host it, but hey, maybe we can pick somebody from the crowd, from the chat, and
we'll hold interviews. And whoever's more qualified, the most qualified to monitor the debate. You'd come in here, probably give you something special.
Somebody, I am job.
Yeah. Nino Gaji says, well, after that shit, it better happen. James Walker says, late here in the UK, fellas. I was just about to hit the sack. Well, you can hit the sack while listening to us. There's nothing wrong with that. HRA fucking weird ass name says Tyson needs to ask Canelo if he has some clenbuterol left. Boxing Killers TV says apology knows. I hope Nino Gadget says I hope AJ makes them both sleep with the fishes. Del Boys Boxing News, shout out to Del Boy, says Fury is done. Alex Guerra says I know Voodoo here think Fury will be sharp enough 3 months from now. I have a hard time believing it. Nino Gadget says, and Showtime is a fugazi for putting this BS on pay-per-view. Oh yeah, that's gonna be pay-per-view. I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about that. Do you think this merits pay-per-view? Because I'll tell you right off the bat, my opinion, it's gonna be entertaining, the trash talking, even though it already seems like these guys like each other, and so I don't think there's gonna be that much trash talking that's genuine. And second of all, the fight is gonna be boring. And what I mean by boring is, yeah, the stakes are high, but there's going to be a lot of feinting. There's not going to be a lot of punching. Deontay Wilder doesn't necessarily make for entertaining fights, save for his punching power. And Tyson Fury, as we saw, he's not a devastating puncher. He's not a come forward, bust you up type of guy. He likes to use his skills from the outside. So I think there's going to be a lot of posturing, a lot of feinting, and it's not going to be an entertaining fight, guy. It's not going to be Klitschko Fury. Just put it out there right now. Jay Perez says a low place debate will be painful. I mean, listen, he wants to come on all the time here. Always pandering to come on in the chat room. So we'll have him on for that debate if he agrees to it. And of course, if Ring IQ agrees to come on again. Alahayu Yahawashi. The fuck? Fury has more heart, he says, than Anthony Joshua. That's for sure, he says. Boxing Kills his Frampton looked sharp against a club fighter. Yeah, he did indeed, but I don't think a lot of people cared about that fight. But yeah, he did look good, and he did prove to the boxing world that he's not finished, or if he is a little bit past his peak, he's still very good enough to take out guys like the guy he fought, Luke, whatever his name was. Sorry, it's late in the day. I'm not here very sharp to remember names. Sorry. Nino Gadget says, I think it does not at all warrant a pay-per-view BDA, just in my opinion, it's going to be a lot of shit talking and not much action. I will agree with that. Apology Man says, I'll probably buy it as long as the fight is not boring or any WWE shenanigans. You're going to buy it, but how come the fight's going to be you won't know if the fight's boring until the fight happens. Apology Man, so I don't understand what the hell you're saying there. But I do understand what you're saying about the WWE shenanigans. But I am sorry to say that I do think they're going to try to pull some more crap like the one they tried to pull off earlier this week. Man, a lot of comments here. Nino Gadgis agrees. Rambo says Wilder will give Fury a good fight. Nino Gadgis says Frampton versus Warrington is a solid fight. Very good fight. Very good fight, that one. Be happy to watch that one. Alright, who do we have here, Bucho? Somebody just came in?
Yeah, it's Tommy, the guy from Twitter.
Tommy, what's up?
Yep. Yeah, it's me.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're fantastic here. We're fantastic. I understand you're familiar with Bucho through Twitter. Is that it? Or
Yeah, I see your guys' tweets all the time.
oh, fantastic. Just as a disclaimer here, I'm not the one tweeting. That's Bucho that takes care of the Twitter account. So anything he's saying, not necessarily myself that's approving all that.
I assumed it was you.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's why Twitter is a bit crazy, you know.
So, Tommy, what do you think about this whole Fury Wilder fight? You like this fight? Are you excited for it, or what are you expecting from it?
I think it's too early for Fury. It's not really the best versus the best at their best. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think?
Well, let me defer to Bucho right there. Bucho, what do you think? Do you like the fight happening right now?
Yeah, I guess we can't say it's the best against the best in the heavyweight division because Joshua, I guess has to be considered the number one in the division or number two,
right?
Because of Fury's inactivity and he hasn't really fought anybody since the comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a great fight. I'm excited about it. I think Fury's gonna be. I think Fury has enough to beat Wilder, man. Are we getting to predictions yet, or you just want me to tell
Not
you
yet.
what I think
Just
about
talk
the
about.
fight. Like,
Yeah, just talk about whether the fight is it being made at the right time?
like it,
Would there
okay,
be a better time?
whatever. No, it's it being made at the right time. I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to. What I want to see Fury against who? Pulev or something? Come on, let's get this over with because we're not gonna get Wilder Joshua anytime soon. So
Hmm.
make this fucking fight, man. I'm
I
glad
would
it's
agree.
happening. It's good
Apology
for
man
the
fucks with.
apology. What the hell is that?
What?
I heard like like
A robot?
robotic
Oh, okay, yeah.
voice
So
saying
I
apology, man.
accidentally clicked on something. Speaking of apology, man, we got apology man on the line, and I still haven't put the what's it called? The intro into database, but what I do have it right here, and I can play it right now. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do. all of you.
Bitches are stupid, I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
All right, so that's what I got so far. Their apology. That's going to be your introduction or
that's
something.
pretty good.
Fantastic. Glad you liked it.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Oh, it's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah.
Listen to him being so fucking humble. Yeah, you're right. It was a long time coming. In fact, I should have 3 more introductions. That's what he's thinking. Yeah, fucking. All right, so apology, man. Thanks
Tell
for.
me, you can turn off your camera. You click on the button there.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. Perfect.
Okay.
By the way, there's a guy in the chat room called Alayahu Yahawashi. Is that some sort of like a Black Israelite thing, or is that a Japanese name? Can anybody enlighten me on?
I
No?
have no
Nobody?
idea, man.
No?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
reading Alayahu Yawa.
Yahawashi.
I don't know, man. Gee, I'm too tired to read that name.
Well, as long as we're reading his name, he says, Wilder will knock him out, though. I can't wait for this one. Fury is the real UK champ. He's a real fighter, not like Joshua. Joshua is fighting bums. Apology, man, I'll ask you the same thing. What do you think? Is this fight, do you like the timing of this fight? Is it being made at the correct time? Do you think it's going to be an interesting fight? You tell us.
I mean, I kind of agree with Bucho. I mean, who are they going to fight if they're not going to fight each other? Like,
Right.
I'm tired of waiting for these heavyweights and they're not fighting each other. So, I mean, it's even now we wait another year for them to fight, and then I just can't be bothered to wait.
I agree. But now that you said, if the fight is entertaining, I'll pay for it. But again, I'll ask you, how do you know if the fight's going to be entertaining? Like, do you think it's going to be entertaining?
By fight, I meant build up. Like, yeah. But I don't know. Something about this fight seems off. Like, the thing about it, what's the fight you want to see? Wilder versus Joshua, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying he's going to do it, but Tyson Fury might take a dive because, you know, that's the fight everyone wants to see for Wilder Joshua.
I don't know, man. I don't see
it's
that
an
happening.
I can see that happening. Or early stoppage or something, some bullshit decision. I don't think it'll be legit.
It's definitely gonna be. Listen, first of all, how did you think Fury looked? How did you guys think he looked this past Saturday?
Shit.
I don't think
He should have stopped the guy.
All right, Apology thinks he should have stopped the guy. Tommy, what about you? What do you think?
I thought he looked okay, but you know what? I've been seeing on Twitter, and I was watching the stream, and some people were saying that Tyson Fury was looking bad on purpose, so that Wilder will think like he's easy pickings when actually it's not. It's like he's playing possum. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't buy that whole.
I thought about that. I'm not sure, but it actually crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? Why not? And no, by the way, Fury said after the fight that he was trying to get some rounds in.
That's what they say all the time when they can't knock a guy out.
Why not?
You know why not? First of all, I do. In this case, I'd be willing to believe it because he's not even that big a puncher. He's not the type of guy, like I say, he's not gonna bust you up. He did give Chisora a bit of a beating in the second fight.
He can't punch, man. He's underrated. His punching power is underrated, and he can sit on his punches if he wants to. Listen, he's 6 foot 250 pounds. Trust me, this guy over 250, he can hit. Okay, so these people who I read a comment in one of those channels, you know which ones, saying, "Oh, Wilder's just gonna walk through him because he has no punching power." I'm like, are you fucking serious? Why couldn't he walk through to fucking Spilka or these other fighters? I mean, are you fucking joking, man?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like he can knock him out, but he can't walk him down. He's not Winky Wright. He's not Brandon Rios. He's not fucking Gennady Golovkin. He doesn't walk people down. He waits, tries to land that big old bomb. He barely throws any punches. And Tyson Fury as well. He's not a overtly aggressive guy, so that's why I'm telling you. It's my expectation is that this is going to be a bit of a bore fest, and we'll get into what boring means because I've been going back and forth with people on YouTube about that. But before we continue, I just want to introduce two.
I wasn't bad
I
though.
told you what's going to happen with Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen because
The one, the only Stu.
What's happening, boys? Can you hear me? Because I'm on a new computer.
Another
A
one.
new
What's
computer?
going
What
on?
the fuck?
Oh, fucking broke again, didn't it? Fucking thing.
Too much
How do you
porn,
break
man.
a computer?
I got a good one this time. Well, the other one was alright, but I got a better one. I spent a bit more money.
Wait a
This
minute,
one's
let's
alright,
back up. How do you break a computer?
We just fucking thing stopped working. Like I got it one day, it wouldn't turn on again. And the
I. Oh,
the
did we
button
lose?
didn't work. So I couldn't reply to anyone. So and then it just stopped. Well, I went put it on one day and it just wouldn't come on. So I went back and said, "Oh, this is shit. I want a new one." And the one I like. So hopefully this one will stay working.
Well, I gotta tell you, right off the
Alright.
bat. Yeah, right off the bat, you're having it's sounding like the old Stu, like the one that we can't hear for long periods of time. You were breaking up a little bit there. Hopefully, it's the connection and not the computer.
You like
We'll
breaking it. You like breaking it. I don't think it's the computer. I think it's my internet. I think this because I can hear you guys fine, and then you're breaking up. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Man.
yeah, it's all right now.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, now you tell us, man. Fury, Wilder, what do you think is going on here? Do you like the fight happening now, or would you rather Fury get a couple more tune-ups? Tell us your opinion.
Well, ideally, I'd like Fury to have another couple of tune-ups, but if he's going to just perform like that, what's the point? Because he was in second gear. All right, he was getting the rounds in, but I think the more he performs like that, the more people are going to be less interested in the fight. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Still, for the moment, everyone's excited about it. But if Fury just stinks joint out after joint, then maybe it's going to fight. He could have took that guy anytime he wanted to. He needed to get the rounds in. I believe he did. I'm hearing that he asked the trainer if he could take the guy out, and his trainer said no. Keep doing what you're doing. And you can see he was taking a lot of power out of his punches as well. He was like half-hearted shots. So I do believe he was getting the rounds in.
Apology, man. You seem to disagree with that. Apology, you
Yeah,
there?
but what's the point of doing that? Like everyone was doing, lost a lot of I think he lost a bit of momentum. So I
Right.
don't see why you would do that.
Well,
It
listen.
was a 10-round fight. I mean, you know what I mean? Well, what does he want to do? Like, just knock out the guy? And he needs some
Yeah.
rounds in, man. I mean, I think he needs some rounds
Uh,
in. But even if he
listen,
knocked them out, I don't think it would have changed anything. Like I
it
said,
would
like
have.
it's too. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so it would have gave him more momentum because you come back 2 knockouts, everyone's high on Tyson Fury, and then you got the Wilder fight. But now going 10 rounds, he lost a bit of steam. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, that's a good point. But the momentum, I think I looked at the bets right when they opened, and they're very, very close. Like you don't make any money actually.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
so
I think Fury's got a lot more to give, and I think he's not stupid. He knows he has to fight a lot better than that to beat Wilder.
So
by the
now
way, we
it's
have
interesting.
Abstract in the line, BDA.
Yeah, we got Abstract on. Abstract, are you there?
I'm here, lads. How you all doing? All right?
Yeah, fantastic. Good to have you on board.
Cheers, man.
All right, so what do you think? Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. There's a lot of talk going on the internet about this fight. There seems to be a lot of hype.
I've been out, so I don't know what you've been talking about. Is it the Fury Wilder? Yeah. Sorry, you're breaking up there, BDA.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. Fury versus Wilder. A lot of people are excited about it, hyped up. What do you think?
Oh man, I don't think he's ready for it. Fury. I think it makes sense for Wilder because of the lineal thing, and Fury being unbeaten, and Fury being regarded as probably the best pure boxer in the heavyweight division on his day. He's not ready, man. Like, I don't know. Even like he looked better in the Pianeta fight. He definitely looked better than in the Safiri fight, but that I don't think that would be difficult. He still, for me, looked a little bit sluggish, a little bit lacking snap on his punches. The hand speed was there. I don't think the foot speed's quite there. I didn't think this was going to happen. I just thought it was ridiculous. I thought it made no sense for him whatsoever. He's a walking contradiction. Like 1 minute, he's not ready for Bellew and White, and Frank Warren's talking about like he's not going to be rushed. The next minute he's fighting Wilder. I think, right, this is what I honestly think, because Fury's quite a how can I put it? He's quite an emotional character. He's led by his emotions and his heart. I think this is kind of like a reaction to Joshua. I think Fury and Wilder, if you watch any of their interviews for the last sort of like year and a half, I think they're both pretty sort of like bitter and jealous that they haven't got the shine that AJ's got. And I really do think this was Fury just going, oh well, I'll fight him then. Fuck it, if like if AJ won't fight him, I'll fight him then. I don't think he's ready. I don't think it's a good move. Based on what I've seen at the weekend, I think he'll get handled by Wilder. People talk about Fury's chin. I mean, he's been dropped a couple of times, but he usually gets back up and actually stops the other guy in the same round, which is, I don't really look at that getting dropped as a judgment on a man's chin.
Lennox Lewis has been knocked out twice, and he's third best heavyweight of all time on my list. So getting knocked out in the heavyweight division doesn't mean. I know what you're saying. He has been dropped. He was square on against Cunningham.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that means his chin's. I don't think that means his chin's bad. I think he's got a fairly decent chin. I've seen him taking a few fairly decent shots. What I do think though is Wilder does have kind of like show-stopping power. He really does have like extraordinary power, and I think just the way Tyson's looking at the minute, I think he gets stopped. I think he needs 2 or 3 more fights. The one thing I do have to say, I can't stay on long, but one thing I do have to say, and some of the clowns in the fucking LDBC and some of the boxing fans have fallen for this kind of like pantomime. I tweeted or I put it in a comment like that, like the press conference and whatnot should have been on Broadway. It was that theatrical. I mean, like 1 minute John Fury's like shaking Wilder's hand, the next minute he's like pretending he's about to. I mean, it was just fucking ridiculous. And then the same in the ring last night. Like 1 minute Tyson's like, I'll fucking kill you, bum, and it's as if he's trying to get to him. The next minute they're like smiling, shaking hands, hugging. It's just like it's so obviously fake beef. It's so obviously just really sort of WWE sort of like cynical attempt to build the fight, which I can't blame them for building the fight. But fuck's sake, make it a bit more believable. I don't know what anybody else thought, but I just thought it was so.
Can I say something?
Yeah, to me, like I said, it doesn't really matter what the build-up is. It doesn't, whether it's cringy or corny or whether it's really exciting. At the end of the day, all I care about is the fight happening and what happens in the ring. These guys, I agree with you. I think these guys are desperate to try and take the attention away from Joshua, and I think they're using each other to do it because they can't do it on their own.
Well, let me say something here.
That's
Let me
a very good point.
Let me say something here because it's interesting that just to go back to what Abstract Boxing said a year ago. Barely anybody would have given Wilder a shot against Fury, even though Fury had been off for a while. Now all of a sudden it's a 50-50 fight or even 60-40 for Wilder. What changed? Is it Fury's inactivity or is it turning out that Wilder is more dangerous than people gave him credit for?
I think it's both. I think it's Fury's inactivity. I think it's the performance he's put in, and I think it's the fact that I think a few fans were maybe surprised a little bit by. I mean, I picked Ortiz to beat Wilder. I didn't know Ortiz was going to look quite as old as he did. No one knows how old he is, but I thought Ortiz would just have too much for Wilder. I think a few people were a little bit surprised that he managed to. However you want to view it, I mean, like, was it a perfect performance? No, hell no. But
why was anyone surprised?
I think a few people were maybe a little bit surprised by that, and I think that combined with the inactivity of Fury is probably the reason, you know, that it's kind of like the balance has been tipped ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've just got to go by what you see, and right now, Tyson is not. Bringing enough to the table, I think, to win that fight. I mean, unless he's holding something back. And don't get me wrong, Tyson is a far more skilled fighter than Deontay Wilder. But it's just that all I'm worried about is Wilder he's quite quick with that right hand. It comes at a pace. It's not like you can't sit there and shoulder roll and fucking parry Wilder right hands. You just can't do it because they're coming so fast and from such a long range as well. I mean, it's going to be hard for him to avoid that shot for so long.
Yeah, he's an athlete, Wilder. Wilder's an athlete, and I'm not sure Fury's ever really been in with somebody that is that sort of like athletically gifted and quick and has that amount of power. And certainly not after being sort of like sniffing coke and eating nothing but kebabs and pies for 3 years or whatever the fuck he was eating. What I do want to check with you guys though, what did you all think of Fury's performance? What was your sort of like impressions, guys?
Well, you just got to look at the crowd. I mean, the fucking crowd weren't even happy with it, really. I mean, if you're a boxing purist, if you're like a Floyd Mayweather fucking fanboy, then you'd probably enjoy a performance like or Rigondeaux fanboy. That's right up your street. But we all like entertaining fights, and it wasn't entertaining. You've got to keep it real. Yes, he showed good defensive skills. Maybe he was getting the rounds, and I believe that's what it was. I think he could have took that guy out anytime he wanted to. I believe what Butcho said's right as well. I think he's got a lot more snap on his punches than he showed. I think he was pulling a lot of the power away from his shots to keep that guy in there because he could have stopped him at any time for me. So I don't think.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. You know, getting the rounds in for me, I think he wanted to make a statement, and I think getting the rounds in. Why didn't he just stop him in the 8th or the 9th? I think, like, especially given
he went and did,
especially given the Pianette. Sorry, let me just finish this actually.
Yeah.
Especially that Pianette has just been knocked out like only a matter of months ago by Kevin Johnson. I mean, the ghost of the shot, absolutely properly shot Kevin Johnson, knocked him out in 7. I mean, you would imagine he would go into a fight like that wanting to make some sort of statement. Yeah, get the rounds in, but then get him out.
How would he know? How would he know he can? Yeah, but how would he know? Unless he gets around, and how would he know he's even got the tank to do 12? He had to do 3 rounds on the pads in the changing room after the fight because he only did 10 rounds. He doesn't even know he could do 12 rounds, and he said he did it quite comfortably. But it's the unknowns with the guy. You know, like you said, when you lose fucking £100 nearly, so they were saying he's lost. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't know if he's got the tank to go 12 with an athlete like Wilder. So I suppose it's all the unknown, and I think them rounds did him good. I think him going in there and taking him out in 3 rounds would have told us nothing, told him nothing. So I think it's down to the tank more than anything.
All right.
Yeah,
now,
I mean,
hold on. Can I just say, we got a lot of people here. So before we
how this
continue,
man is like,
I mean, can somebody stop me here, please? Can somebody, anybody hear me?
The way he's been living for the last couple of years.
Abstract, can you hear me?
It's quite unusual.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I think BDA is trying to talk.
Yeah, I understand. There's like a bit of a delay here with the audio. No
Sorry,
problem.
BDA.
Just because we're just getting a lot of people in the chat, in the Hangouts. I just want to introduce them before we keep going. We've got KIWI Boxing on the line, and we got Recognize as well. How you gentlemen doing? Ah, shit. I accidentally... My God. I accidentally closed the Hangout. I told you I'm tired today. Hold on a second. Let me... Butcher, you take over, right? Oh, shit. Yeah, Butcher can't talk because, of course, My goodness gracious. People in the chat room are laughing at me. I fucked this one up. Hold on a second. I'm gonna give the Butcher the link here. Alright. So, we're gonna keep this, get this back on track. I was gonna introduce KIWI and not Low Place, Recognize. I was confusing him with X as well. Alright, hold on a second here. Give me 2 seconds. But it's interesting. A lot of people are having this fight. So you can see the bit of a divide here. Some people think Fury's ready. Some people think he's not. Some people think he's going to get his ass kicked. I'm just interested in how a year ago people weren't giving Wilder a chance. Alright, hold on a second. So yeah, so it's interesting how people weren't giving Wilder a chance a year ago. And all of a sudden, people realize he's not that easy to pin down. The guy is pretty hard to pin down. Alright. He leans back up. Alright. Yeah, he leans back up. Alright, Bucho, tell everybody to come on over to the new one. Alright. So yeah, Wilder is pretty fucking slippery himself. He's got good reflexes. He knows how to use his height. Now, here's the thing that Butcher was telling me the other day. He says, well, don't forget, Tyson Fury is taller than the guy. And one of the things you got to watch out for in this fight is going to be the feint. Because Tyson Fury really caused Vladimir Klitschko a lot of problems with those feints of his. Really threw him off for a loop. So, imagine what's going to happen against Wilder. This is what I said Ortiz had to do against Wilder. He had to throw those... he had to throw those feints. Because Wilder will eat them all. He accepts the feint. So he can be put out of position. But if you just stand in front of Wilder and you try to get him out with one punch, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to get you with one punch. You don't go punch for punch against Wilder. Either you try to outwork him, and in the process you land a big shot that's going to knock him out. Now that's the other thing. I want to ask people as well as Bucho, can Fury knock Wilder out? I know that's the question that Bucho was asking in the chat room. I'm interested, because again, like he said, Tyson Fury is 6'9", almost 300 pounds. You think a guy like that can't punch? He can punch. And Wilder doesn't have the best chin. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. By the way, I see we got some people from the Exodus. Alright, Stu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Alright, now why am I hearing a delay here? Okay, yeah, keep talking, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, now I hear you fine. Yeah, sorry, because I accidentally closed. I was doing two things at the same time, and I accidentally closed the Hangout. So I'm glad people are back here. We got Abstract back. We got Apology. We got KIWI Boxing. We're missing Bucho, Recognize, and Tommy as well. So again, just keeping you up to date, guys. I accidentally closed the Hangout, so that's why we're on this new one here. All right. Alright, so who was going to say something? Was it you, Abstract, or was it KIWI Boxing, who I just introduced?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright.
Yeah, go ahead, because I think Recognize on his turn.
Sweet as. Yeah, I think Fury was kind of pulling some punches to a degree. I think he, like you were saying earlier, I think he needs to prove to himself that he could go the distance. There's still a bit of extra weight there, and he hasn't quite got his full speed back in his feet and whatnot. But he's got almost 4 months to fine tune, and I think it was a pretty good run out from him. You know, for me, it was a clean sweep. He won every round, hardly got hit, so it's a win-win at the moment for me.
Yeah, that's the way I see it, bro. Exactly how I see it.
Mm.
But it just doesn't look. It's just not an I don't think Fury's ever going to be that exciting fighter. I think he's going to steal a living. He's going to be like Floyd. Give us 40% of what he's got. If that's enough. I just don't think. I don't think this is a guy that's going to go out there with with an average fighter and just demolish him like a Golovkin would do or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
I would
It's
dare
like he
say.
takes enjoyment out of picking fighters apart.
Yeah. Well, he did with Chisora, the second one. He could have stopped Chisora, but he just kept backing off, didn't he?
Yeah. Just the type of fighter he is.
Yeah, he's not going to go
Do
for
you
the
think
kill.
it's all? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think it's all emotion? Because in the Cunningham fight, he went out and that was exciting. But in the Chisora fight, he like backed off and just punished him.
I think the Chisora fight, I reckon that's probably the best Tyson Fury performance we've seen. Even better than the Klitschko performance. Because even though he beat Klitschko quite comfortably on the cards, it was a horrible fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that is the best I've seen him look. He didn't try and stop him, but he did beat the shit out of him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he did.
He gave him a hell of a hiding.
And Chisora's tough as well. There's not many people stop Chisora. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that.
Is that?
Whoops. By the way, there's a bit of a delay in my microphone today. I don't know why. But before we continue, I want to introduce Recognize the Matrix is on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right, we got Recognize. Oh, we can hear the
New
cops.
York.
In the...
New York, man.
New York, baby. That's what it's all about.
The police are after Recognize.
Hey, BDA,
Recognize-
play the audio clip I sent you.
Well, hold on. We got a whole bunch of things going on. Hold on. We got Recognize on the line. Recognize, thank you for being on the show. I'll get to you in a minute because I want to get your opinion on this whole thing, which a lot of people are calling a circus. Apology, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just real quick. If Fury looks like how he did against Chisora, then he will win easily. But I think Wilder's going to beat him for two main reasons. One, because Wilder Joshua is the fight everyone wants to see. So they'll definitely call some bullshit. And number two, I think Wilder is the fitter and better conditioned boxer, so he'll win.
Well, there you have it. I think, you know what? That's a big if. I still think he looked pretty good. I mean, I think he was just trying to work some things out. But like Stu said, and we've said it here before, Tyson Fury is not the type of guy that's going to come in and try to destroy a guy. All right, so Bucho wants me to play. We're going to play a little clip here of Fury, an interview he did. Was it before or after the fight, Bucho?
After the fight.
After the fight. All right, here we go. So it's an interview he did with the UK
Thank you very
press.
much indeed, John. Tyson Fury, congratulations. You've won every round on the card of the referee. A shutout victory over 10 3-minute rounds. Give us your assessment of the performance you've just produced.
I think it was a calculated boxing performance, as promised. We come here to get the good rounds in, the good 10 rounds. With a good...
By the way, is his voice getting better or is it still fucked up?
I hear okay, man.
No, it's his voice. Remember, he has a fucked up voice, but I don't know if it's getting better now or if it's still fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I think Wilder's voice is getting worse too, man.
Yeah, it's true, huh? The fuck?
I don't know what the fuck is going on there.
All right, let me see here. Let's continue on with the clip.
Man, quite durable. I was working on my boxing, trying to slip and slide, use the jab, and get the rounds in really, and we was very happy with the performance.
Indeed, you did get the rounds in. More boxes checked on your continuing progression and return to the boxing ring. How did it compare to your first outing after 900 plus days out?
Yeah, well, I thought that was a step up of opponent, and a better boxing display. You know, it's no secret. I need the rounds. I need to box and move and slip and slide and prove I can still go the 10 rounds. And I've plenty left in the tank, which I did there tonight.
You most certainly did.
Oh yeah, by the way, we disagree. No, not we disagree. We disagree says the crowd didn't like it. Why is the crowd sounds a little pissed? What happened there?
I don't know. I didn't like what? Like the interview?
He went 10 rounds with a bomb. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's his and all.
Yeah, no, that is it because I mean he's saying Pianeta's durable. I mean he's just been knocked out by a fucking 55-year-old Kevin Johnson, like he's been stopped 5 times. He's not. I mean that's not what I'd call durable. To be
It's because
fair.
Wilder entered the ring, man. It's because Wilder entered the ring and everybody started booing.
Now they were booing towards the end of the fight as well, before the fight even finished. To be fair,
It looked like Wilder has some fans over there.
Yeah, maybe
I
the
mean,
bomb
to
squad.
be fair, I thought it was quite. No, I honestly believe this guy wants big fights now. I think it's really clicked in that these 40 chumps on his record is not going to cut it for us. I honestly think this guy is chasing big fights. I do like to see him get a bit of fan love, shall we say? But let's be real. I mean, a lot of it is to post on their Facebook. Look who I've just had a pick with. Are they really going to? It's different having a pick with someone than paying for a pay-per-view fight for them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the truth, man. The people are going to go and feel this. The people are there to see someone else that want a selfie. If you get what I'm saying. So I do believe people do know who Wilder is. I don't think that was ever the question. I think the question was, can he sell to deserve 50-50? And I don't think he can.
Well, let's continue listening to some of this interview to see what happened here.
Let's have a word with the man who's guiding this comeback, Frank Warren, Hall of Fame promoter. You've said that Tyson Fury's return to the boxing ring is a process, but negotiations going on for a showdown against the WBC champion Deontay Wilder. How advanced are those negotiations? Where is Tyson Fury in the process of his comeback?
We're very, very advanced. He's over there. Ask him. Get him over here.
Well, let's bring in the man holding that coveted green strap, the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the bronze bomber, the self-styled Baptist, Deontay Wilder. Now here you are, Deontay, face-to-face with a man you came face-to-face with after your successful title defense against Arthur Speaker in January 2016 in Brooklyn. How far are negotiations between yourself and Tyson Fury for a showdown between the reigning WBC champ and the lineal heavyweight champ? Where are we in terms of those negotiations?
Are we ready now? This fight we are having is on. This is on. This fight is official. It's on, baby.
Now, are people booing Wilder or the fight?
I'm pretty sure Wilder.
All right.
This is what we've been waiting for right here. The best fighting the best.
So you've said that the fight is on. When and where will the fight take place?
It will be revealed next week. Wait till next week. But the fight...
Is that Frank Warren speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could tell he was getting ready in case somebody shot him or something.
Is on. It's on.
Well, Tyson Fury, listen to the ovation.
I think Wilder was about to mess up the plot. He was about to.
I know, and that's what he was like. Well, where's the fight gonna take place? Oh, and then that guy takes a mic.
Yeah, you don't give a gypsy a mic. You don't give the mic to a gypsy. You give it to a guy who's been shot 5 times and still survived.
The IRA could plant a bomb underneath Frank's desk and he still wouldn't die. Do you know what I mean?
All right, let's keep hearing this shit.
Just 8 pieces of him.
Fight between yourself, the lineal heavyweight champion, a man who's never lost his titles in the ring, against the reigning WBC champion. 40 wins out of 40, 39 inside the distance, and 98% knockout ratio. How much does that whet the appetite to face off against the undisputed WBC champ?
You know, we are 2 men who will fight anybody. This man has been trying to make a big fight with the other chump.
Can't hear
shit. We all know what we're talking
about.
The biggest shit out.
I tell you what, if I hear Frank Warren or any of the Furies one more time saying that he never lost the titles in the fucking ring, I'm gonna chew my own fucking arm off or something.
Yeah, they're gonna play up that angle. They're gonna be playing it up all fucking throughout the campaign. All right.
They say it all the time.
All right. Butcher, how much longer do we have with the clip?
Just what Fury says, man.
Okay.
On Showtime, if we could keep the language clean, it would be most appreciated.
Bring it back here, man. Listen, they called. I answered. I said, send me the contract. They sent the contract. I said yes. And now he gets his chance to fight the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. My promise is, I got me rounds here tonight, 10 rounds. But one thing I promise when I go to Las Vegas is I'm knocking you the fuck out, boom. Boom.
What's up with the commentator? Like, you can't swear and shit. It's like,
Oh, the commentator gave him shit for it. The commentator gave him shit for the. Did the commentator?
Children's Network, you know.
Did the commentator say something about the language, Bucho?
I think he says Saradia. He's like, we apologize for the language.
What is it? Just
he does, and it's like it's a boxing event at fucking like 10 or 11 o'clock at night and shit like that, when people are trying to punch, you know, cave each other's skull, and I think, you know, fucking hell, like
I don't know who that dude is. He's as tall as Fury and Wilder.
Oh, he's a joke, that guy.
That guy's 6'7", 6'8" himself, man.
I know. He made it. Yeah, he was like eye to eye with Tyson, weren't he? He's got to be 6'9", man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ronald McIntosh, I think his name is.
Yeah,
Ronald
he's a fucking idiot, man. Oh, I'd like to apologise to our BT listeners if you heard any swear words. No, don't speak on my behalf. I don't want no private schoolboy with a bit of media fucking training telling me if I'm
You think the guy's a liberal?
Well, oh fuck my lefty. He's probably got his own transgender room in his house. He's in the bathroom. Do you know what I mean?
He's so far left. He's fallen all the way under. He's fucking fallen right the way through to right. Like he's
communist. He calls communist right wing. That's how far left he is. Do you know
By the way,
you're that far left. You tipped over already.
Yeah, he went full 180. By the way, we got Cameron on the line before we continue.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
All right, Cameron, are you there?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
All right, you sound a little under the weather there. Either you got the flu, a congested nose, or you got cocaine residue there. What's going on?
I'm on my phone, man. I'm out right now, but can you hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or the love of his life that he met 3 weeks ago, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I ended that shit weeks ago, man.
You see, I knew it, man.
That's four engagement rings.
It's not.
Stuart, give your input, please. Give your input.
Honestly, I mean, I didn't even watch last night's fight. You know, I ain't watched any boxing for months. You know what I mean? But I listened to last night's shit, and fucking Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, two best mates, and you know they're trying to sell this fake beef. And what I listened to what Abztract said, he was spot on. You know, it's a lot of BS. I'm not really into this fight. I wanted to see Fury get a few more fights in first. I mean, Pianetta's, you know, let's be honest, Pianetta is a bum. You know what I mean? You got
everybody fell off. It's interesting. Usually it's not Cameron that falls off, but he certainly did right there. All right, we'll get him. He'll resume.
He's a bum. My God.
Yeah, he said he's a bum.
Pianetta was horrible. Pianetta was horrible. He was.
I didn't even know who he was.
Man, I fucking hit on the cool.
He's a bum. My God.
All right, Cameron, are you back?
Here delay. Somebody's playing something in the back.
Usually I don't get kicked off, and that's surprising.
Anyway, so you were saying,
Cameron, he gone for the Paulie Malignaggi look or something.
No, come on.
I went on holiday, man. I went on holiday, man, and we met these. Went into this. We went away, and I met these people, and they gave us all these outfits, man. I tried it on. I thought, fuck it, man. Let's get a bit tropical.
Did you go to San Francisco for a vacation or what?
Are you still not scared of the police yet?
Somebody in the chat says I recognize he's a dirty cop.
he's
Serpico.
Yeah, I bet recognises Denzel Washington in training day. Yeah.
That's me.
Hey, I gotta ask.
Let's be honest, man. About the fight last night, I mean, if Kevin Johnson's stopping Peanut and you're supposed to be a best heavyweight in the world and you can't stop Peanut,
what the fuck's going on here? I know, like people say rounds in, but nah, man.
It doesn't mean anything though, bro. Because there's times when a guy will stop a fighter in a couple of rounds. Yeah, another guy will probably take 12 rounds to do it. Yeah, but when the two winners get the 12's the guy. So
I didn't watch the fight, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, bro. It was just a poor watch. It was, but I don't think we can really. I don't think we can really take the fact that he didn't stop Pianetta, because I think he could have done if he wanted to. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think we can say, oh, because he couldn't stop Pianetta, there's no way he's stopping Wilder, because I think he knows he's going to have to be a lot better now, and I think he was pulling a lot of his shots. Let's be real.
Yeah, man. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't watch the fight, man, because I knew it would be a 10-round stink fest. Fury stinks a joint out in every fight. I mean, the thing that annoys me about Fury is how he used to say Vladimir Klitschko was boring. This one, Fury's even worse to watch. I mean, I think there's, I think that, what for me, I think Fury raises levels when he fights well. I think he is. I heard a few say I think he is one of those fighters that fights to level the opponent. He'll just do what he has to do to get the win. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he goes in and fights Wilder and does a job on him and beats him. But for me, I don't like the fact that he's going into this fight off Safiri and Pianetta, man. I don't like it at all.
He reminds me of B-Hops in that way. Like B-Hops could like fucking stink out the joint, fight a top name contender, and beat the shit out of that guy.
I tell you what, as well, he's going straight back into camp. He's going to have to go straight back into camp pretty much, because he's in 3 months' time.
I'm just hoping we don't see it's a lot of David Hay saga where he came back, fought 2 bums, and then wasn't ready for Tony Bellew. Do you know what I mean? And I just think
is he cashing out?
Sorry,
I think Wilder
Is he cashing out?
I didn't hear you.
Is he cashing out? Do you think?
No. I think he legit thinks he can win that fight, man. I think Wilder KOs him personally.
Yeah, so do I.
I think Wilder knocks out the guy that fought Saturday night. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
My God,
I didn't really. It's only when Hatman did a video the other day but I didn't realize how bad Fury's resume really is. I mean, it's a horrible resume. Really,
it's bad.
apart from Klitschko, who has a good resume at heavyweight besides I don't know, maybe
but he says Joshua fights bums, but I would say Anthony Joshua's got a far better resume than Fury.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, wait a minute, no. Chisora is at the same level as Dylan White. I'm sorry, I think they are.
I agree with.
They watch their fight, man.
Yeah, but Bucho Chisora was old and Dana White was young and fresh.
Yeah, but where's Tyson Fury? Where's Tyson Fury?
You know what lost to Chisora, man?
Where's Tyson Fury's Povetkin and Parker?
Takam and
that's where it's I think
what's
that's
Fury's best? If you take Klitschko out, what's Fury's best win? Let's be real.
No, but you can't do that. You can't do that.
Chisora.
Yeah,
cutting him.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't say.
The point is nobody has a good resume at heavyweight. That's the point.
Because the division's shit.
Yeah, I agree. Tyson Fury, I'm a fan of his, but I just like to keep it real. I can't sit there and lick a fighter's ass when he's.
No, I understand, but it doesn't make a difference.
He's saying Joshua's fighting bums, but I'm looking at Joshua's record in less fights than Fury's had, and it's a lot better resume.
I think so.
The thing is, we can do the same for Wilder and everybody else. I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm saying if somebody wants to be like picky and go and then dissect Fury's resume, well, let's do it with Wilder as well. Who's his biggest win? Steve Earn, fuck that, seriously, or Ortiz? I mean, come on.
Well, Fury's is better. If Wilder's on his record, better.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just that when Fury comes out of these statements, I just think sometimes I don't think he thinks before he talks, sort of thing. I think it's definitely Wilder and him have ganged up on Joshua.
Okay, but we can dissect this actually and say, well, Fury beat Klitschko when Klitschko was still the champion.
Yeah. Fury's is a better win. Yeah.
But that's just one good win if you think about it.
It's a big win, though. It's a big win.
I guess so.
I'll take Joshua's. Let's be honest, man. I mean, I'll take Joshua's resume over Fury's win.
If you think about it,
it's a big win, though. It's a big win.
I guess so.
I'll take Joshua's.
ElDude.
I'll take Joshua versus
Yo,
Dude,
dude,
you get your
Someone's
mute your
speakers on,
mic,
man.
someone's
man.
got
Mute the stream.
Every
someone's got
time
it
the
on,
dude
and
comes in, he makes an entrance, man. Like, like background
I was
noise.
gonna say, I agree with what
Fucking
Abstract said.
guys.
Abstract,
All right.
what Abstract said earlier on about about the fake beef between Fury and Wilder is cringeworthy, man. These two are best mates outside the ring.
That's right.
Everybody knows this.
yeah.
A
Yeah, I
gypsy
don't care, man. Who
and a guy who
cares?
beats up prostitutes. They
I'm
deserve
not
to be best
interested.
friends.
I'm not really interested in this fight, to be honest with you, man. Like, when the fight happens, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? But I've got no hype for this fight. I wanted to see Fury get a proper testing and something like a Pulev or something like that before this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't mind seeing it. We've moaned about Deontay Wilder long enough play. Whether you think Fury's not ready or not, that's not Wilder's problem. Fury's in the game. He says he's ready. That should be enough. So
Of course,
I really
Wilder's going to take this fight. I mean, let's be fair. The longer you leave it, the better Fury's going to get. So of course, Wilder's going to take it now.
Yeah, but I don't mind the fight. I haven't got a problem with it. These two guys making a good bit of money for a big fight. Because let's be real, it's the next best fight from Wilder Joshua or Fury Joshua. It is the next best thing. So we can't be mad at it because otherwise Wilder's going to fight some bum, Fury's going to fight some other bum, and it's just we're going to be at square one again.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of
I'll see the man. I'll
hoping
see
that
that.
this fight happens. I'm kind of hoping this fight is going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
I think, man, it kind of evens out. You take Wilder's poor boxing skills. You take Fury, who hasn't fought in real competition in over 2 years. It kind of evens out. I kind of even right now probably even favor Wilder just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as the fight goes along, I think I'm gonna end up picking.
And the build up to this fight, don't tell me when these two are in to do IFL TV to watch them because you know they're going to be awesome. You know that there's going to be beef between the two camps. It's going to be exciting to watch. Even if the fight's shit, there's going to be a bit of build up that'll be worth watching. So yeah, why not, man?
Yeah, but it's fake build up. It's fake build up.
What's real build up, man? What's real?
You know what's real build up?
You don't even
You know
know
what's real build up?
For example, Conor McGregor, all his beef is fake. Like
great example.
He hugged Aldo and said he's sorry after knocking him out.
He's a big fan of Aldo now. He said he was really happy for Aldo to get the win the other night, and so it's all mind games at the end of the day. I agree. Whoever said that these two are good friends is totally correct. They are that you can tell they're good friends.
So there you go. So what exactly are we watching this for?
Are they good friends, or do they both just hate Joshua?
They both just.
Oh, that's a good point.
No, these two have been. I've followed their Twitters. They've been getting on for a while before that. Before even Joshua was.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I think Fury's a real competitor, and he's. I mean, I think all of them are. I think Wilder's a real competitor too. He's starting to get the plot, but I think there's real animosity for each other. I think it was just fake what happened in the ring. It was just two businessmen who said, "Look, let's get together." There's a third wheel who's actually winning. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get together, make a fight between us. Whoever wins, has that as like a stepping stone. One of those guys are going to cash out. I just have to find out when they fight.
All right, now let's move. I just want to check in with ElDude to see if he's operational. ElDude, are you there?
Yeah, brother, just trying to catch up right here. How's everybody going?
All right, fantastic.
Everybody doing?
Good to have you on board, man. All right, so I want to get we haven't gotten to your opinion on this whole fight. Do you think this is going to be an entertaining fight? Do you think this is being done at the right time? And are you excited to watch it?
Yeah, man, I'm excited to watch this fight. And it's the right time because Tyson Fury says it's the right time. This is a fight that he wanted. He's been calling out Deontay Wilder. He's the one saying, if AJ don't want it, I want it. So it's like I said before in the BDA show, I truly do believe that Tyson Fury has reached that mental point where he feels invincible because, as we saw against Pineda, he has he's not 100% physically, but he's close, man. He's very, very close. And I truly do believe that he didn't want to knock out his opponent. I think he wanted those rounds, and I think he was trying to see Pineda do what Wilder somewhat does by coming in wildly, throwing wild bombs. They're about the same size and height. Obviously, they're not the same caliber, but I think the counterpunching is going to play a big is going to play a big part in this fight versus Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And I think it was Tyson Fury who was trying to perfect his counter punching against Deontay Wilder.
That's an interesting point. And now we get about 5 people in this hangout who believe that Tyson Fury could have knocked his opponent out, but didn't because he wanted to get some rounds in. You guys are starting to change my mind. Maybe he did hold back a little bit because he wanted to get that rust out of the way.
Well, I think you said it right. I think you said it right, brother. Because maybe he was holding back. Being able to knock him out is questionable. We don't know if he could have knocked him out if he wanted to, but holding back, I think he definitely was holding back. I think you said the words.
Pianetta was blowing, bro. The shots, even those shots that didn't look like I had anything on them, was getting a reaction from Pianetta. I mean, even the work he was doing in the pocket, you know, when he was roughing his head and all that, he wasn't letting the shots go in the pocket. He was just resting his head on Pianetta's head, sort of thing, and just holding. So he could have fucking ended that fight anytime he wanted. I believe that because that's the difference in levels.
I think he could have stopped him with accumulation, if not actually knocked him the
accumulation.
You know,
yeah. I think it would have been accumulation, like Abstract said. Yeah.
Yes, maybe TKO accumulation. That sounds about right.
I think. Look, I thought that there was some holding back, but at the same time, I saw some rust in him where he looked like he needed to take a break, and I said to myself, if this happens, or put it this way, if it was Wilder in the ring with him last night, I think I would have said Wilder beats him, right? I mean, nobody's gonna be shocked Wilder beat him in that kind of condition. I think when it comes time to fighting Wilder, he's going to be in peak shape. That's what I think. I think he's a real, Tyson Fury is the real deal in the sense that he believes himself to be the best. He knows what he needs to do to prepare for a guy like Wilder, so he knows he has to come in tip-top shape. Not only tip-top shape mentally, to not hold anything back, to really let his hands go when he needs to and break Wilder down, because the fight's going to take place in Vegas. I have to say that either Fury has to clearly win every fucking round to get a decision or stop him. It's going to come down to that. The politics have to favor Wilder. So even though I can't see Wilder outboxing him, right? I cannot, but I can see him winning on. If it was to go in the scorecards, and let's say Wilder pulls off like 3 legit rounds that he wins, that could seal the deal. So I don't think Fury wants to play around that. I think he knows that.
One thing though, I don't buy that he held off deliberately, Fury, that he didn't want to stop him. I think there were other signs there that some of that was rust, some of it is his timing wasn't there. The snap wasn't there in his punches. I'm not so sure that was deliberate. I think he wanted to look as good as he possibly could. He was talking about in the press conference before, he was talking about you're going to see a heavyweight Sugar Ray Leonard. It's not quite what I saw.
Yeah, he's probably on about the Duran 2 fight.
Nah, but you know what, brother? I think this is why he wanted the rounds. I think he knew coming into the fight mentally he was ready, but in the ring, he felt that ring rust. He knew he wasn't as sharp. He knew he wasn't that precise. He needed these extra rounds, man. He really needed them against a professional bout, against the media, against the fans, and especially against Deontay Wilder. And it wouldn't have done no justice for Tyson Fury to finish this guy off within a short amount of time. He needed these extra rounds for the long run and for the benefit.
My point was, why didn't he go for it in the 9th or 10th? Then you've got the rounds in. He didn't even seem to make any attempt to. Do you know what I mean? Then you've got the rounds in. Why not try and get him out of there towards the end? That was my point.
Like I said earlier, then we're talking about a guy that doesn't even know if he can do 12 rounds in his next fight. Everyone's saying this guy needs 2 or 3 fights. The fact that he's stepping up to fight Wilder, fighting 10 rounder beforehand, is quite brave in itself. So give this guy, a chance to get some rounds in. What is he learning by doing 2 rounds? And then when he has to fight Wilder and it's in the 10th and 11th round and he hasn't got no tank left because he didn't.
Well, it's not really about learning. It's about getting that. It's about getting in the zone, man. It's about getting that little bounce. It's about being sharp. It's about feeling it. You know what I mean? It's like when you go to work, if you feel like you're kind of you haven't got good sleep, good lunch, You know, you feel a little drained, man. But when you're in tip-top shape, you're doing a job, an incredible job. And I think that he needed that. You know what I mean? I truly do feel he needed
There
those
was
extra
nothing.
rounds, man.
There was nothing in the will play in the boxing ring. Doesn't matter how fit you are, how fresh you feel in the morning, how good you feel about yourself. If you're not getting the rounds in, then it's not going to help you. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what, man? If we look at it, I'm looking at it this way. What do you guys think about this, man? What if he didn't want to knock him out because he didn't want to show Deontay Wilder how he's going to knock someone out and the counter punching? Because we know that Deontay Wilder swings very, very wildly, man. And when he misses, as we see every fight, when he misses, what does Deontay Wilder do? He stumbles on his own 2 feet. He goes to the ropes. He tangles himself up. He's very sloppy on his feet, and he has no counter punching capability. Now, when he swings, he's going to be exposed. Tyson Fury is a great counterpuncher, and he was practicing. He's trying to get that sharpness in the ring. Why show Deontay Wilder how he's going to knock him out by unleashing those particular blows when he could keep it a secret, man? Keep it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's that timing.
Yeah,
It's that.
not putting
War
all
is
his
deception.
cards on the table. Yeah, not putting
I'm
all
sorry
his
about that.
cards on the table. Yeah, it's definitely. It could be. There's a lot of reasons why this fight was like it was. You just got to accept it. I mean, everyone's getting a bit butthurt by including myself. I thought it was a boring performance, but you've got to look into the count that Tyson Fury's got Deontay Wilder in his next fight. He's been out the ring 3 years. He fought, learned nothing from. So it's a lot of unknowns. I believe that he could have stopped that guy. It doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. Do you know what I mean? The fact is, I know he could have fucking stopped that guy, but he didn't. And there's a reason he did that. He's got Wilder in his next fight. He needs to get the rounds in. He needs to sharpen up. You need to be in a boxing ring to get your timing right. Even your sparring doesn't get your timing right because in a ring, a man's coming at you with a lot more venom. Do you know what I mean? He's got more to his game. Sparring's just fucking lethargic.
Yeah, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions.
Man.
That's the word I was looking for because it's sparring. It's lethargic. A lot of it. It's a lot of in second, third gear. Just when a fight's different official together. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was a great fight, though, man. For a rusty fighter, putting on a show.
Apparently, a bunch of people dropped out. Oh, there we go. We got Abstract back. We got Bucho back. We got Stu Little back. And I believe it was ElDude who was saying something. We're gonna get back to him in a little while here when he comes back. Safe to say, guys, this fight has divided. Oh, ElDude is back. So, dude, what were you saying? Oh boy, he had his speakers on again. All right, so we got a guy named Fabio, by the way, in the YouTube comments, and he's got a picture of Fabio as his avatar. That's really creeping me out. Really creeping me out. All right, ElDude, are you back?
Yeah.
All right, so
I think I got dropped off, but I'm back online.
Yeah, everybody dropped off. Well, except Stu and myself. So what were you saying?
Oh, no, I said the ring generalship, definitely. He still has it. He was still putting on a show. The fans were still enjoying the show. The fans enjoyed the beginning, the middle, and the end. And I think when it comes to the 4 factors of judging a fight, it's better defense. We saw it in the Tyson Fury. The better punches. We saw it in Tyson Fury. The aggressor was more like Pineda. But the ring generalship was dominated throughout the 12 rounds by Tyson Fury, without a doubt.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Do you guys think Tyson Fury has the firepower? Okay, we know he can make Wilder miss, but can he make him pay enough to get a win? Like Recognize said, the fight's going to be taking place in Vegas. Can he do enough to convince the judges that he deserves the decision with his fists?
It's going to be difficult for him, I think, because Wilder Joshua is so big and so many people stand to lose so much. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I think people don't want Wilder derailed.
That's what I said. Yeah, I think it's going to be fixed, or something. Fury's going to take a dive.
Fury's going to take a dive.
Well,
No, I don't think Fury would take a dive.
Guys, it's fixed or something bullshit's gonna happen.
Man can't. He could never go back to his community again if he took a dive, mate.
Yeah, he won't take a dive. Too proud. Too proud.
If he gets beat, it's because Wilder's the better man. I'm not going to make excuses now. Do you know what I mean? No way.
I'm not making excuses, but I don't feel he's gonna win this fight because the fight is Wilder Joshua. That's what everyone wants to see. So why would you let Fury win the fight?
Fury Joshua is could be even bigger. I don't know, like.
Yeah, but that's just British. International
I'll bet
is
you any money.
No.
I bet you any money Eddie Hearn wants Fury to win. I bet you any money he does. Not because they're beef.
Yep.
For money wise, because I know the Fury will make more money in the UK. That's for sure. And that's Hearn. That's all Hearn cares about, really, with Josh.
Hearn wants an international like business now with the new zone. So I think he will prefer Wilder to get to American fans.
Hell no, you can't negotiate with Wilder. They look what's been going on lately. They can't fucking sit down.
The fight's gonna happen, but they're just teasing us for whatever reason.
Wilder might ask if Wilder beats. I'm sorry, apology, but just I want to interject one thing. If Wilder beats Fury, he might not. You know, he might like stay stuck on that, especially if he beats him by knockout. You know what I mean? But then again, you got to see what AJ does with Povetkin. You know what I'm saying?
That fight's gonna be fixed too. Watch, that fight's gonna be fixed too. I'm calling it.
Every fight's gonna be fixed.
No, because the fight is Wilder versus Joshua. Nothing's gonna get in the way with that. I'm telling you guys. Just watch and wait.
You bring up a good
The
point.
thing is, though, if you get caught with this, you cannot fix someone not getting knocked out. You just can't do it. You could play all the behind the scene deals you want, but if a guy can't hold a shot, then your deal's out the window, mate. So unless the guy throws the fight and falls on the floor and something like that. But
what I'm saying is, there's gonna be some bullshit, whether it's an early stoppage or injury or something. There's gonna be some.
Who's gonna fix?
Bullshit.
I don't understand. Who's gonna fix this fight? Like this fight's probably happening in Las Vegas. So the Las Vegas Commission, Athletic Commission, is gonna.
Wilder's American. It's gonna be in his favor.
The scorecard, if it goes to the scorecards, let's say you feel, and most fans feel Fury 7 to 8 rounds. Well, that could easily be manipulated 7 to 8 rounds in Wilder's favor. I can see that happening. That I could see for sure happening. Do we? I mean, listen. Look, I don't like to get too far into the conspiracies, but I did see a man get the fight stopped against him while he was getting punched in the nuts. So I mean, anything's possible. So I don't, you know.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different to saying Fury's going to take a dive.
No. Listen, I really doubt Fury's going to take a dive. I really doubt that. A lot of these fighters are taking dives. I don't think you don't need the other fighter involved to fix a fight. I don't think you even need. I think those days are over with. There's other ways to fix a fight. Fight's close. Give it to the guy that you want to win. But that's going to happen. The guy you want to win looks like he's having a moment. Stop the fight in his favor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
You get Tony Weeks involved. Tony Weeks has already shown that he's down for a little bit of earning an extra little bit of cash on top of his wages. Like.
I mean, he showed that many times.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen Tony Weeks' gut? The guy's gotta eat, man. Come on. But by the way, some of you are saying. Apology asked whether Fury was gonna take a dive. I think Wilder could take a dive, and what I mean by that is that maybe he swings wildly, gets out of control, and drops off the ring. I think he could dive out of the ring that way.
I'm telling you, he's gonna hit the floor and flash knockdown because he's gonna be on balance.
Well, Bucho, you brought up a good point. Adelaide Bird. If Adelaide Bird has anything to do with this fight, you gotta watch out for some shady stuff. And now imagine this: if you're Tyson Fury, and Adelaide Bird comes up to you in your hotel room, and she goes, "Listen, I can swing the fight your way, give you the benefit of the doubt, but you gotta do a little something for me, honey. What you got for me?" Do you think Tyson Fury is crazy enough to fuck her? Like, what do you think?
I'll pass. I'll take my chance.
I'll pass, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, dude is
Yeah,
gonna
go on,
think
Stu,
about
go
it.
on,
He's like, yeah.
I know what Stu's about to say. Go on, Stu.
Yeah, just gonna say, innit? If Frank Maloney says it to you, innit?
Oh,
Oh man.
Good
ooh,
lord.
ooh.
Man, a lot
Yeah,
of
good
you guys
one.
are overrating Wilder, man. I don't understand. Like, I see
Yeah, I
Fury
mean,
I
winning
don't
this
think.
fight. I see
Okay,
Fury
I
winning
That's what
don't.
I'm
this
saying. That's
fight.
what I'm saying,
Dude, I'm
Bucho.
telling you guys, it's
I don't think
it's
Tyson
fight.
will ever take it back.
I kind
Boy,
of
it's gonna
agree
be
with. I kind
fixed in
of agree
some
with
way.
ElDude, man. I think
It's gonna be
kind of
fixed
agree
some
with.
way.
Well,
All right, hold on. Let's go. Recognize. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I kind of agree with what you just said, Bucho, and ElDude has been saying it too. Like maybe there's something that Tyson Fury didn't want to show, and overrating Wilder at the same time. Like that's why I'm saying it. To me, is a very intriguing fight because um, even with the long layoff and the lack of good competition for Fury, I still think he might win this fight. I might have to just go with him, man.
Because
Might
listen,
have,
let's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, that was basically it. His boxing skills compared to Wilder's is night and day. No race points intended either.
Here's the thing. You're Frank Warren. Why would you let this fight happen unless you are certain that your fight or you know there's a high possibility that your fight is gonna beat Wilder? Because Frank Warren could have easily said, "No, we're just gonna keep Fury on a comeback, tour, and he's still gonna sell out a few tickets and events." But no, they went right after Wilder because they know that they can get Wilder before Joshua gets him because it's a very feasible win. And these guys, besides that right hand, he has nothing else, man.
I
We've
agree
Yeah,
seen
with
I'll,
that.
him
I'll, t-
I
I'll
agree.
struggle
tell you
against John
why.
Walsh.
I'll tell you why, Bucho. Can I just answer that question? Why would Frank Warren do it? And I'll tell you why. Right. Anybody that's any of the British guys on the panel will know what I'm talking about here. For years, Fury has looked fragile. As like emotionally, he's looked like a character that like he's always talking about like walking away from boxing. Walking. He actually did walk away recently, and I think somebody like Frank Warren, who's been around a long time, might look at Fury and think, "You're very volatile. You're very unpredictable. I don't know how long I'm going to have you for anyway. Why not make the most money I possibly can out of you right now?" And if that's not Joshua, then it's Wilder. I mean, look, I don't overrate Wilder. I've said in the past, I think he's got the footwork of Stephen Hawkins, the hand-to-eye coordination of Stevie Wonder. But one thing he does have is really a lot of power in that right hand, and he's quick. And I just think the sluggishness that I've seen from Fury makes me think that he's probably going to land on him. I just don't see Fury being able to avoid Wilder for 12 rounds, and I also don't see him sort of like having enough pop in his punches to keep Wilder honest either.
Yeah, it's true. He's very
But
volatile, but this is a Fury that's lost. I don't know, like almost 100 pounds.
Whoa,
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
he
that's a
looks
lot
to
of
be.
pounds.
He's really focused now. So go ahead.
you know, if I could just say this, man, I think that Tyson Fury could take every punch from Deontay Wilder from the waist. I'm sorry, from the neck down. From the neck down, there is no punch that Deontay Wilder could unleash on Tyson Fury that can knock him out. The only way that Deontay Wilder can knock out and hurt Tyson Fury is if he lands upstairs. That's the only way. That's the only way, man. So I favor the
agreed.
possibilities of outgunning, maybe not by knockout, but by outboxing on the long run, 12 rounds, maybe keeping them off. I think Tyson Fury takes it by points, man. I think he does.
Yeah,
That's a very
I think he beats Wilder if if the fight plays out the way I think it's going to. Right? He stops him late. Wilder's going to be too. Wilder fights with a lot of emotion. I don't think it's gonna. It's not gonna be he's hurting me kind of thing. It's gonna be look, I'm exhausted. I got nothing left. He's an emotional fighter. That's who he is. He's not gonna change that. I don't think he's gonna change that, and there's no need to change it anyway because he's been knocking everybody out. They're bums, yeah, but he doesn't know no other way. So he's gonna go for that. He's gonna go for the knockout versus Wilder, and he's gonna have a lot of emotion. He's gonna be very emotional in that fight. And if he starts getting ragtagged and outboxed, the fight to me more likely ends by TKO. Not because Fury's, just this big puncher that's just hurting him.
I think a lot of people are forgetting with Tyson Fury. A lot of people are expecting him to be fighting at range with Wilder, and that's why they expect him to get caught. But we see in the Pianetta fight, when he started to walk down Pianetta, get in the pocket sort of thing, lean on him and push him back and put his head on his head. And that's the sort of tactics I think he was trying out for Wilder, because I think that's the tactics he's gonna fight. I think he's gonna shock you with his tactics.
I agree.
I don't think he's gonna come out and try to box Wilder from range. I think he's gonna sit in that pocket. He's gonna put all his weight on Wilder, drain them skinny little legs that he's got, whether you like it or not. He has. He's gonna be giving away 30 odd pounds, 34. It's that's good. That's going to be his way, because I think if he tries to fight like he did against Pianetta, I think he's going to get caught. So he needs to get inside Wilder, who's got no inside game at all, and start roughing him up, leaning on him. Because when 260 pounds leaning on you, it takes a lot of energy from you. So that's the plan I think he's going to use. I don't think anything that we saw in the Pianetta fight is going to tell us how he's going to fight against Wilder.
And he'll be very successful if he does that, because Wilder has
that's
no
the way
legs.
to beat him. That was the way to beat Wilder.
Legs. First of all, Wilder has no balance. Imagine taking his legs away. Oh, he's done. Even if he doesn't want to be done, his legs will betray him. He'll just go down. He's done. If you take his legs away with his bad balance, it's a wrap for him. There's no way he can win the fight.
Now, guys, before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to Steven Schneider, who contributed $5 to the stream. Shout out to Steven Schneider, who says, "What's up, people?" Oh, fuck. Did everybody fall off again? All right. And this time even Stu. Ah, no, Stu's still there. Good old Stu. He'll never leave us. Right, Stu?
Yeah, I'm like that guy. You know that mate that moves in you, but just won't ever move out. I'm like that guy.
You're like the last guy at the bar that doesn't want to leave. All right, so yeah, I think he muted. He muted the mic. But I think you guys are making an interesting point right there, because if Tyson Fury decides to flip the script and decides to come in against Wilder and tries to rough him up on the inside, we could see some interesting things happen. Why not? Tyson Fury, I think, has a better inside style than Deontay Wilder, for sure.
I think that swings the fight. I think outbox Wilder and think he's smart and he can avoid Wilder for 36 minutes. I think that could be his downfall, because a lot of the lads said I don't think he's sharp enough to do that right now. He's not at his full game, so I think he's going to have to go head to head with Wilder, lean on him, rough him up, stick the elbows in, just get close to him and maul him. And I think we'll see Wilder.
I think if Gerald Washington would have followed up on his jab, right? It would have automatically, if you follow up on your jab, you automatically close range. That's what it's just the science of it, right? Unless you're punching off your back foot. In other words, your power hand and your leg are in the back, that you're ready to avoid yourself. If you throw your power punch behind your jab, you automatically close range in a boxing fight. Had he done that, I think he might have beaten, or at least gone more rounds with Deontay Wilder. He had the right game plan. That's the blueprint to beat him. That's going to be the blueprint to beat. I think that Washington laid out the blueprint. You stick him with a good jab, but you got to follow up on that. You have to follow up on that, and you'll beat this dude. He's not that hard to figure out.
And then in BDA, we were talking about this.
Let me tell you something. If I was younger and I was a committed boxer, I would give it a try. I would have given that a try a long time. Well, being that if I was 6'6",
Recognize. Come on, you gotta get past Miguel Cotto first. If you can't step up to Miguel Cotto, you're not gonna step up to Deontay Wilder. Come on, man.
I gotta get my respect from Cotto before
That's right.
Tommy makes a point in the chat saying that
Fury should fight southpaw, which Fury did against Chisora in the second fight. I think he's actually better at southpaw. He has more balance. I think he's better fighter at southpaw. Don't be surprised to see him fight southpaw. But I also believe that the right hand is the kryptonite for a southpaw. A right hand as clean and as sharp as Wilder's could be a nightmare for a southpaw too. So it just depends. But don't be surprised to see Fury walk in with a southpaw stance.
Yeah,
And you know what?
especially because I've never seen Wilder throw a left hook. So if Fury would just circle away from that right hand and then box
Exactly.
him all night.
Exactly. He doesn't have. That's a very good point, Apology. He doesn't have a left hook. And Recognize said it himself, like that Gerald Washington fight was a nightmare for Wilder in part because Washington was another big guy who was feinting him. He wasn't giving Wilder any opportunities. Now you imagine what Tyson Fury is going to do to him. But you know what? Tyson Fury has to keep that fucking left hand up or right hand up, whether he's a southpaw or not, because he likes to roll with the right hands. But if Wilder catches him on top of that Bigfoot head of his, he could discombobulate him and send him to the ground, man. That's all Wilder needs. He doesn't need to hit you on the chin. It can be on the top of the head, the side of the chin, the side of the nose, whatever. He'll fucking drop you.
Or a punch in the neck, man. I mean, he swings viciously.
That's right. Or in the asshole. I mean, whatever. Let's just say the guy has fucking power, man. That guy's got power.
Or an Andre Ward shot, you know what I mean?
That's yeah, but now that's the other thing, because Ganstas in the chat room was saying that he doesn't believe Wilder has a type of, like, he thinks his power is overrated, and I see where he's coming from, because he has knocked out mostly inferior opposition than Tyson Fury, but the way he lays them out, it leads me to believe that his power is legit. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Wilder's power is legit, for sure.
Oh, he's legit, man. He got that. He got it dialed in, man. He perfected the helicopter punch, man.
The helicopter punch. The fuck's the helicopter punch?
No, I do think he's gotten some gift stoppages.
Right.
At the same time. But at the same time, he does. He's look at him. He's long. He's wiry. He's an unawkward. He's kind of an awkward fighter. Like, how do you really? You could game plan for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when it's in the ring and it's in fast motion. It's I could see it being like, holy shit, like a shocker to some, especially when it's power.
And you know what?
Man.
I'm not sure if you guys heard that interview with Deontay Wilder talking about styles. Like, styles don't mean shit, kind of saying like he knows his particular style. But the thing for Deontay Wilder, man, that's very impressive, that one cannot take away, is his passion, his desire to just knock a motherfucker out.
That's true.
I mean, he's hungry for the knockout, man. He's not in there to fuck around, man. He's in there to
he's
just knock you the
That's
fuck
why I
out.
say he's very emotional. What I mean by that is the one thing is, like, there's no doubt what he's trying to do to you. It may look ugly, it may look, crazy, and it may look like Keisha from the block, but it's like when he hits you, you know what I'm saying? He hits you, he's usually putting you out. He's putting these guys out.
If he doesn't see blood, he doesn't go at you. If he sees you as dangerous, just slightly dangerous, he won't go after you. He was going after Spilka because Spilka was smaller with no power. But when you have guys like Gerald Washington, I mean, this guy or Luis Ortiz, Wilder was very hesitant, and he was letting rounds go by and not do shit. So it's gonna happen with the same with fucking Fury. He won't do anything because he's gonna actually respect Fury's pop. I'm telling you, this guy can hit. He's not a Mike Tyson, but Fury can hit, and Fury's gonna be feinting a lot. And fuck, trust me, Wilder's gonna be eating every single fucking feint, like in that Spilka fight. So
that's a good point.
Wilder, bro, if he knows about Wilder, he reacts, and with the feints, that's going to cause him a lot of trouble because he reacts and he throws shots straight away. So all you got to do is feint Wilder, and he'll throw straight away, and you can step aside and hit him with a counter. Says, well, this is the way he could be dropped. Someone said he could be dropped because he gets caught off balance.
Wilder,
that is how he's going to get dropped, by throwing a counter shot from a feint where he's totally off balance and he's going to get countered.
Wilder's either going to knock Fury the fuck out or get embarrassed really
Yes,
bad in this fight.
exactly.
It's not gonna go. I have a feeling that it's not gonna be any in between. You're gonna win the fight by knockout, or you're gonna see it, the ultimate exposed. Like this might be the fight.
And here's the thing. Sorry, brother. And here's the thing for that favors Tyson Fury. We've never seen that type of aggression coming from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury goes in there and he has fun. He wins by having fun.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't
Except when
think
Cunningham knocked him down.
That's true. But I don't think
he got pissed off. He got pissed off.
I don't think he could win having fun versus Deontay Wilder. I think he needs to take his mental status to that same level where Deontay Wilder's at by trying to just catch a case in the ring, man.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I think Wilder's emotions is going to be his downfall one day, whether it's against Tyson Fury or not. I think when you fight emotionally, and that's when you eventually get caught.
The best way to fight a fighter that fights with a lot of emotions, number one, you get them frustrated. Number two, once you establish frustration and you're winning a fight, you start hitting him with meaningful shots. Because what happens is now he's got two fucking dilemmas. Now he's thinking too much. Now,
jeez, he was just about to drop some gold. I want to listen to what he has to say about that. He said, just to recapitulate, he said,
sorry about that.
There we go. Yeah.
I think I hit the button by accident.
No, everybody else dropped out too.
Sorry. Okay. What I was going to say was the way you deal with a fighter with a lot of emotion, that they're very emotional fighters. You frustrate them. I think I got that point across.
Right.
You frustrate them first. Once you establish that and you show that you can beat him by frustrating him, as the rounds get, you get into that second half, you start punching him with shots that are now you're trying to take him out. Because now he knows that you're not clowning him. Now you're actually trying to knock him out. So he deals with two emotional dilemmas. Okay, he's dealing with two. Number one, he's been embarrassed. Now, number two, you're trying to knock him out.
That's a very good point.
Now he's really fucked.
Yeah.
And that's.
And you know what? Let me. If I could just throw my 2 punches in on this one, man. Economically speaking, I think it's up for grabs. The market favors both of them. One, because in the United States, Deontay Wilder doesn't have that economic support coming from his fans, which is why he's fighting in free tier TV. And Tyson Fury has that economic backing coming from his side of the world. So I think economic, but like there was, like you guys were mentioning, he's unstable. I believe it was Stu who was talking about that they're, it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. I think Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, it's all in, man. All in.
Now you bring up a good point.
The build up to this fight is going to be far more exciting than fucking boring old dull Joshua, because he could talk a glass eye asleep to him. Do you know what I mean? So,
the build up, I agree with Stu.
We're going to get so that's going to be exciting in its own. We've got it's a decent fight. Granted, Fury's not at his best, but it's not our problem. No one here, Deontay Wilder especially, didn't ask Fury to go on a 3-year coke fucking sesh. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good point. But here's the thing about, first of all, Recognize made a very good point about getting inside Deontay Wilder's head. Deontay Wilder is a very emotional guy. You've seen outside of the ring, he's gotten into a bunch of altercations. If he doesn't get taken out in the ring by knockout, something else is going to happen to him outside of the ring, because this is a guy, we've gone over through his rap sheet, all right? Now, this would be a very good time for Tyson Fury to improve or actually apply some psychosexual warfare here to really get under Wilder's skin. Now, to ElDude's point, he's talking about how Fury has a financial backing. I mean, he's more famous in England than Wilder is in his own country. So that brings up a good point, because Tyson Fury, he does seem to have the love of the people, but when it comes to the media, they do give him a lot of coverage, but they seem to dislike the guy, as if they look down on him because of some of the comments he's made. He hasn't made politically correct statements.
Yeah, but I've seen a swing in the UK, bro. I've seen a swing where a lot of Joshua fans are actually going on to Fury's side and turning against Joshua. And I think it's more to do with Hearn and the media bias, and it's the political correct bullshit you get with the media. Well, it's true, and the people have just had enough of it all. And I think they see Tyson Fury as he's the
people's.
He's the anti-establishment. and I think that's why people are taken to Fury. I mean, I think he's getting more love than Joshua at the moment. People always watch Joshua fights. 80,000 will be there at Cardiff because he's got his fanboys in abundance. But at the end of the day, I think the true boxing fans are actually starting to become more Tyson Fury fans.
Hey, how many UK fans do you think are gonna travel to Las Vegas or New York? I'm thinking
they're
like
gonna
Ricky
show
Hatton
up.
style, man. Oh
yeah. That's funny you said that, Bucho. I was gonna say they have a history of showing up. So
yeah, there'll be a few there. There'll be a few thousand, I should think.
There was a lot of well, I mean, this is Wales, but Wales isn't Wales part of the England? No,
yeah, Wales is the UK.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember when Kazaki fought I want to say Roy Jones. A lot of his fans showed up. You know,
yeah. Calzagi's from the Welsh valleys. He hasn't got hardly any fans. But when you've got like when you're from the main like main places in England, like Manchester and all the big cities, you get a lot of football fans jump on board, and that's why Josh Warrington's got so many fans. I mean, Josh Warrington's he's a good fighter, but he's just a normal British champion sort of thing. But he feels like 28,000 in the stadiums because he's got the whole town. That's how it works in England. The town gets behind you, and a lot of the football fans get behind you, and that's why a lot of fighters have big support. It's like if Wilder had the fucking fucking American football fans backing him everywhere he goes, then he'd have a lot of fans. Do you know what I mean? But it just
So Fury might have more fans at the end of the day in the arena. No,
against who?
Against Wilder? Yeah. No, sorry, Wilder against Fury.
No, I still think the Americans will outnumber the Fury.
Look at the screen. Look.
Oh, recognize turning into a woman. That's why he was always talking about politically incorrect.
Will take a few thousand. I think
everybody heard you on this podcast.
Was that you recognized, or was that your
I
daughter?
thought it was you recognized.
Yeah, we thought it was you. You turned into a woman.
We thought you lost your balls or something.
I didn't notice any difference in the voice, to be honest.
Wow.
Oh.
But anyways, I think I don't know. I think the British fans are gonna be very loud, and it's gonna sound like they overtake the arena, man.
It's possible, man. I mean, when Calzaghe fought Hopkins, the crowd was pro Calzaghe, and that was in Las Vegas in the United States. So, would not surprise me.
Hopkins is boring as shit, and he's a fucking twat.
Well, that too.
No, I think it was a lot to do with the comment that Hopkins made, didn't it, about Calzaghe, that he's never going to let a white boy beat him. I think a lot of white fans turned up to see him get his ass whooped.
Well, everybody fell off again. My God. Yeah, Hopkins said he wasn't going to let a white boy beat him, and then not only did he lose to a white boy, but then some 10 years later, he was knocked out of the ring by one, so maybe you should keep your mouth shut. And I'm a Hopkins fan, by the way. I'm defending
Kovalev bashed him around the ring as well, didn't he?
That's another white guy, yeah. So maybe,
I love that fight.
All right.
By the way, I apologize for that, guys. That was my daughter.
That's a
good. I
play a little
man,
more
I'm doing the same
discipline.
over here. Hey, but you know what I was gonna say when give me a second, brother.
Yeah, you guys should discipline your children better. Interrupting the show, that is a big no.
This is the real life show, boy.
That's right. But it's interesting because you guys are saying, essentially, here's the other thing. Apology, for example, he said there might be some shenanigans pro Wilder because he's in the US. But Bucho raised a good question. Like, who controls the power here? Is it Frank Warren or is it Al Heyman? Can Al Heyman push Frank Warren around? What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely, especially if it's in the US.
Yeah, I don't think Warren's going to have much say in the US, do you?
Warren might get shot in the US. I mean, he's got to be careful, man.
Nah, he doesn't, actually.
You could use all the bullets in America and it still wouldn't kill Frank, so forget about that one. Frank would keep Terminator. Frank would walk in America.
We know that.
Off his head and all sorts.
We know that whoever shoots Frank Warren, he's not going to the cops. He's going to look for them.
No, Frank, yeah, he keeps that shit quiet. He's been shot that many times, though, isn't he? He just keeps it quiet.
Hey,
Frank
speaking
might
of
be able to get
D-Net,
at least one judge on the side.
But he's not going to have much say in that. I mean, if that goes to the cards, you know whose name's going to be called out. Let's be real.
oh yeah,
Where do you guys
That-
want to see this fight, though? UK? Sorry, New York or Las Vegas? Where do you want to see it?
Well, I think
I mean,
Wilder. I'm sorry, Tyson Fury gave it up at that press conference. He said it's going to be in Las Vegas. At the end
Okay.
of
It should be in
I'd
Las
rather
Vegas.
in New York because I'm in New York,
No,
obviously. But
Yeah.
when that particular face-to-face interview you guys were just showing a few minutes ago before I jumped in, at the end, Tyson Fury jumps in and says, "I'll go to Las Vegas and kick your ass." He messed up. He said
Okay.
it. He actually did say
Whatever.
Las Vegas.
and what about
So
that
it's-
fake push? That
I'd
fake
rather Las
push, man.
Yeah, yeah.
just-
Bucho, you saw it, right? Come on, man.
He puts
That
his
was
hands
fucking-
on Wilder, then waits 2 seconds, and then little push there. It's like, come on.
Who's that?
Yeah, are you talking about the push or what? The
Yeah, that's
shoving?
exactly the
Yeah,
shoving, the push.
Who pushed who? Who pushed who?
Tyson
Fury.
pushed Wilder.
Ah, yeah.
He
Yeah, and then they're,
shoved him.
then they're smiling at each other and fucking hugging about 10 seconds later. Like,
Do you
Well, I
see?
think-
Do you see? Do you guys see Bill Joe Saunders throwing the chicken at Wilder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that you guys saw the. I saw Nestor Ness from the Boxing Boys. He said he was actually there.
Yeah, he was
the one
sitting.
yeah, and then he said it was nothing
I
racial.
would
He
have threw
said,
it at him. I would have threw it at him.
Nez actually said that. He goes, look, I don't care what any of you lot say. He goes, I respect Billy Joe Saunders. He goes, the man's got balls. He goes, he comes up to the heavyweight champion of the world, man. And it just, yeah, I did call you that. And this guy had an entourage as well. All right, he ran, but I'd run too. I mean, Wilder is on his own is going to whoop Billy Joe Saunders. Never mind 8 fucking big guys with him and
Hey.
Nesta. You know what I mean?
hey, Saunders got his road work in, didn't he?
I tell you what,
I'm actually.
he said he
I'm giving a.
Yeah,
No, this is
Billy Joe.
That was
trying-
Billy Joe's workout for the year.
He needed a bit of road work for the Andrade fight, so I think that's why he did it. He knew he'd get chased.
He was trolling though, because when he was running away, you could see him laughing. So a lot of it was trolling.
I think if it wasn't for Nestor, I think if it wasn't for that Boxing Boys for Nesta, I think Billy Joe Saunders would have been in big trouble with the media, with people speculate and the accusations and all that. I think if it wasn't for Nestor for backing him up and saying he's riding with him, he believes it was just a moment. He just grabbed something off the table and threw it at him or something like that. I'm not even sure exactly how it went down, but
They've made up already.
I'm
They've made up already.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
But
people
I guess
already
it's
have
people-
their assumptions already.
Yeah.
They're already saying that. Listen, I think Billy Joe Saunders is a piece of shit, if you ask me. But that's him doing that. Is it racial? I don't know. I'm not in the guy's head. I think he's a fucking clown. But
all right. What's with the language?
It was kind of funny. That was funny to me.
All right,
I
I get you. I get you don't like the guy.
Right.
I get you don't like the guy, but that type of language, recognize, really not.
Yeah, I apologize.
We're not on the main line anymore.
We apologise to any of the YTBC that were offended by recognising comments just now.
Yeah,
I think BDA's trying to get a job as a commentator in England.
yeah, exactly. I respect BDA's hustle, man. I respect it. That's why I say I apologize.
Thank you, recognize. And you know what else I respect? Because we got open minds here at BDA. We all know it. Stu, recognize, we're all open-minded people, everybody. And we're glad because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. The NFL is going to allow male cheerleaders now in order to diversify everything. And we got pictures. They finally started this. So here we got some pictures here. Look at that. And you know what else is interesting? One of the male cheerleaders looks like Anthony Joshua. I think it's actually Anthony Joshua. That's why he's not fighting. Look at him.
That's horseshit, man.
The guy on the left. He's like Anthony Joshua, but with bigger teeth. Look at those pearly whites. They look like public urinals. And look at the other guy. What the fuck?
Holy shit, he looks like him, man.
I'm telling you.
Not see no hole in it.
And what's with the other guy? Look at him. He looks spaced out.
Fucked.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, those are the guys you're going to be seeing during the NFL games. Bunch of dudes jumping around. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually very proud that they're doing that, the NFL, because they're opening up barriers. And there's nothing wrong with opening up barriers.
I can't wait for the ring card boys, man. That's going to be fun.
That's right.
You know what makes this whole thing crazy is that nobody called for this. It's not like football fans were saying, you know, we need male cheerleaders, right?
There's no
It's like-
demand.
No, actually, actually there's a huge demand from the LWBC.
The thing is,
78's going to get his pom poms out.
One thing I know though for sure, none of these players are going to say a damn thing about it because most of them are social justice warriors. So you can bet your life. Well, they
as
are.
much as they're as much as they are fascinated with Oscar De La Hoya and those videos that keep on. I mean, we all know what he done, and it's embarrassing, man. I mean, for him, and who wants to follow that? But for a man to download, upload pictures, have on it, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
make
that's
videos.
some kind of
That's gay, man.
I agree with you, dude. I've seen from that segment of the YouTube community, I've seen some really disturbing, chopped up pictures that I said, man, you guys think about stuff like this? Like that's
Yeah,
They're looking into it.
Matrix. Imagine if you were to be doing that, have a picture on your computer, and your daughter walks in, seeing that. What
Yeah,
the heck? What the heck?
I saw a picture of. I think it was De La Hoya made a comment about Anthony Joshua, how he can make him a bigger star, playing the promoter game, and maybe he could. I don't know, but that's not the point. And I'm not gonna say who it was, but he has a pretty big channel. He chopped up a picture, and this is real disturbing, of Anthony Joshua receiving head from Oscar De La Hoya.
Fucking hell. They're fucking gay.
I saw one the other day. Two fucking guys up doing bum sex, and I'd fucking the one that's taking it wild Z cut out.
Where were
man,
you,
no
man?
bullshit. No bullshit,
Where were
man. Yesterday they had a live stream that they actually had to delete because in that particular live stream, they were making fun of having that youngster, I believe he's 19-year-old Ryan Garcia being raped, Holmes. I mean, they're disgusting.
What?
Yeah, like
That's
they
disgusting.
they talk like that. That's why I don't like talking with them, because they usually, when let's say if I say, well, I don't know, I think Anthony Joshua has a great shot of beating Deontay Wilder, you'll get a statement. I'm not saying from all of them. You'll get, you crazy, Wilder will rape him. Like, why would you even think about that? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, because they're homo thugs.
It's all about Ryan Garcia. You know, they say gay men that know who to look for in another gay man. That's probably why he's calling out Tank Davis. We've all seen Tank Davis' behaviour with Broner, innit? You never know. Tank could be the next one.
They're all gay, man.
And
no, but one thing is to make it.
He got fruity.
I'm only joking.
Features anyway. No, he's he's one kid that I've looked at. He got little fruity, feminine features already. And
yeah, his whole face looks like a girl.
Yeah.
What you on about Tank Davis?
I'm talking
all
about Tank
puffy.
Davis. Yeah.
Hey guys,
But you know what, man? One thing is to question someone like that. No, I'm saying one thing is to question, like, well, we're saying, it's fair comment, like, maybe he is, maybe. I mean, it's just a critique, but to go all in and go specific, explicit, and go all the way in their mentality, it's just come on, man. Like,
the Recognize said about like actually fucking like superimposing their faces. That means they've sat for fucking hours
and thought about shit like that.
Well, guys, seriously, do you guys think that Fury is gonna tap that ass against Wilder, or like?
think about that's funny, Mucho. Like, imagine if you said that to them, right? How pissed off they would get. But think about that mentality. Like, that's what he's gonna tap. Like, I don't think of another man tapping some other man's ass. I'd be like, I think Fury's gonna school him. I think he might stop him later. I think he's gonna dominate him. These dudes will be like, "Are you crazy? Tyson's gonna get throat fucked." I'm like,
what? Some projection, man.
And by the way,
the whole cheerleader and NFL, hence the whole thing.
Everything's over sexualized today.
He's gonna be wearing fishnet stockings at the end.
And by the way,
you want to see?
Today's over sexualized. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, well, listen.
When's Wilder going to be wearing fishnets? They're asking themselves. Yeah.
All right, listen. We gotta read some comments.
It'll break a lot of hearts.
We gotta read some comments from the people here. Fabio says, I'm reporting you all because I'm offended. With Degree says, male cheerleaders. Brandon White laughs at it. Overhand says, I just vomited. Boxing AA Boxing Blunts, he's laughing as well. Nino Gadji says, look at those pearly whites. He looks baked. Tommy Boxel says, anyone else think Fury is cashing out versus Wilder? So there you have it, guys. The and by the way, recognize. Ah, shit, he just dropped. Everybody dropped off again. Mateus Lisa says, blood boxing is gonna ear fishnets after Wilder. He's gonna wear fishnets after Wilder beats Tyson. I want recognize. Where did you see that picture? That photoshopped pic of who was it? Anthony Joshua getting head. I need that photo for my files. If you can tell me where.
Listen, I'm not gonna say who the guy is.
Come on, why not?
Me and him we've had some friendly back and forth, and we've gone at each other a few times, and we kind of just squashed it. I don't want to.
I see.
First of all, he deletes all his videos. I mean, maybe that's a clue, but he's always constantly deleting all his videos. So I wouldn't have any proof. He could just simply say, "Oh, that was me," but it was him. Everybody knows it was him.
That's right. Now listen, it's interesting how I'm not saying this about you, but I'm saying this about everybody else in the boxing community, on the YouTube boxing community. They don't want to name names. Sometimes they'll go, oh, by the way, I was watching that show the other day. Which show? With the guy, with the haircut, and go, oh, yeah. Like, they think they're in the mafia or something. Just fucking say the names. We say the names here all the time, with exceptions, like, recognize we gave him a pass. But why don't you just mention the person you're talking about? What, are you scared of giving him publicity? Come on. We're all a bunch of people having fun here. Why not? And speaking of fun, so okay, so you
don't want to bother him, but everybody knows who it is, man. Everybody knows. I'll send you a message.
No, I got you. No, but I'm actually saying I give you a pass. That's the type of guy I am. The Don gives you a pass, but with Tyson Fury versus Wilder, somebody asked a good question earlier, a couple of hours ago, in the chat room. Says, what's a bigger fight, Joshua versus Povetkin or Fury versus Wilder? What's gonna do more money? What's gonna do better numbers? Who wants to chime in on that one?
Joshua will definitely. Joshua, I mean, is a pay-per-view guy. Like he sells out. I mean, the Takam fight sold out. I think that'll do more easily, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say.
Are you asking what's the bigger fight between AJ and
Povetkin?
AJ Povetkin or Wilder Fury?
That's right.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that Wilder Fury.
What's that? I guess he said Wilder.
I think Wilder Fury. What do you guys think, Bootco and BDA?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in the UK, the Povetkin fight could probably match it, but in America, no one's going to really be too fussed for Joshua Povetkin. I just don't see it. I think Wilder Fury. I think Fury's got a bit of a name in America, because he's a bit wild. He's always on the news, and I think he's got a bit of a big Irish following, and he's got that Irish background. There's a big Irish following in America. They'll get behind Fury. I think Fury Wilder's probably a bigger fight for me.
I agree.
But what did Wilder Ortiz do? What was the numbers for Wilder Ortiz?
Stu had it. Stu, you did the research, right?
Yeah, I see it's 1.2 at peak.
It's not bad, but at the arena they didn't sell out. So
I just think Tyson Fury brings a hell of a lot more to the table when it comes to views than Ortiz.
I think in terms of financials, the thing that will make a difference as well is that the difference, the discrepancy in price. Obviously, you guys are paying a lot more for pay-per-views and tickets and stuff over there, so that might push it over the edge. Actually, thinking about it,
I don't think we can compare the UK because one fight's going to be at 4:00 in the morning, and the other's going to be prime time UK time. So obviously, Joshua's going to have more people watching.
But you guys have more boxing fans. That's the thing about you guys have more. I mean, you guys were explaining to me that, and I believe this, that boxing is the second biggest sport, second to football. So
Yeah,
I think that in terms of
between
internationally with America, I think it's going to Fury and Wilder's going to be bigger. I mean, it depends, man. To me, the better fight is Joshua and Povetkin.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I wonder how many pay-per-views he's gonna sell in the US. I don't know if it reaches 1 million, to be honest.
No, I don't think so either. 500K and better. I say anywhere from 5 to 7, 5 to 6.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cut.
Maybe I'm being real generous, but
It's cutting
it
out.
might do that.
What'd you say?
Am I cutting out?
Is everyone cutting out, or is it my internet?
No, I'm hearing recognized pretty good.
I know a bit as well.
I hear Stuart. I hear you fine.
Some people are cutting out. I'm hearing people cutting out as well. Recognize you seem to go quiet and stuff at times.
No, I was gonna. Okay, let me know if you guys hear me now.
Yeah, can hear you now.
Okay, I'm thinking somewhere around 5 to 600K for. And I'm saying the upside. The upside. I might be totally off on that shit.
No, because somebody in the Mateo's list in the chat says 154,000.
It could be, man. It could be. It could be.
Nah, man, come on.
You never know. I mean, with tech, it's easy.
Is though money if it's in Vegas. If it's in Vegas, that they're going to make decent money in Vegas as well because the casinos will
The
pay them.
casinos and all that. Yeah, they'll get good money.
They'll make their money back. Don't you worry about it. Because I
But
think Tyson Fury's getting 10 million, and I think Wilder's getting 15.
Oh yeah, you know something? That might be that's a cash out fight for either guy. Whoever loses, if they lose bad, I mean, there's another scenario that could happen. I mean, the loser could fight really good and still, demand a rematch. You know what I'm saying? It could be like, okay, just hypothetically speaking, I know nobody likes to really do that, but let's say Wilder loses, right? But Wilder knocks down Fury twice. He's kind of like winning most of the rounds, but gets too careless and gets stopped. Let's just play that scenario out. Maybe even a controversial stoppage in a not in that obvious way. I could see where Wilder would earn his money and demand another big payday.
Imagine it's a fucking war.
It could be a war, man.
Hey, maybe, man.
Yo, but what if it's a draw, Canelo and GGG style, just to get that
That's
rematch
another
possibly
thing.
a trilogy,
Yeah, that's a good point. You can make that fight a trilogy.
and that'll
man.
save. Yeah, and it'll also save the undefeated streak versus Wilder versus AJ.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, all three guys we're talking about, Fury, Wilder, and AJ. We look at them as the cash cow of the heavyweight division. They all got, they're all undefeated. Whether their resume is questionable or not, they still got they got that zero that sells.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. They've all got a zero to keep, haven't they?
Yeah. I tell you what though, if Wilder beats Fury, he'll definitely be sort of like pushing that 50-50 thing. I mean, I still think that is absolutely ridiculous because at the end of the day, it's about what you bring commercially, and just AJ is just way bigger commercially. I mean, that's obvious.
I agree with that, but the American style of trying to get fights their way, it's all about selling that zero and give them a nice legit win, like against a guy like Fury, regardless that Fury hasn't fought decent competition going on 3 years, just about. They're not going to look at it that way. They're gonna push. Well, he beat the lineal champion. He's the lineal champion. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think the guy lost the lineal belt, in my opinion. When you fucking retire and you give up a rematch clause in Vladimir Klitschko, to me that's like, basically you really lost that lineal title. But
I agree.
that's what they're gonna sell. They're gonna sell Deontay Wilder as the lineal champion. And
Well, they
he's
have
gonna
to.
demand from there. I'm telling you, especially if he beats him legit, like a nice win, he's gonna say 50-50. Fuck all that.
I mean, look, tell me this as well. I don't know what you guys think about this. eliminate the LDBC from this for a second. I'm just talking about fucking boxing fans with some kind of amount of sense. How much credit do you think Wilder's actually going to get if he say he sort of like just runs through Fury?
Oh, that would definitely raise his stock for sure. I mean that.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think? I know, but do you think he'll get as much credit for it as
He'll get credit off me, definitely.
Yeah, but I understand what he's Abstract's trying to say. Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, go ahead.
I know what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Because that's the thing. Listen, Deontay Wilder should be a bigger star than what he is right now. He's a big, tall dude who can ice people, and we've talked about it in the show before. What makes you a superstar, a mainstream superstar? Most of the time, that's the best thing you can have: punching power, the type of punching power he has. But nobody knows him outside of Alabama. So if he gets a knockout win over Tyson Fury,
I just don't want people to make excuses for Tyson Fury if he loses. He's took.
Oh, there's gonna be people. There's gonna be people making. There's already people making excuses right now.
I think they will. I think people will inevitably say. I mean, we're saying it tonight on this podcast. Most of us have said we don't think Tyson Fury's ready for this fight. I know he's taking it, and yeah, I agree, Stewie. You know, he's taking it, and that's that. Whether it's a clever move or not, I do think there will be people that will be going. He beat a Fury that had, was inactive, that had only beat Pianetta, blah blah blah. You know, I mean,
so are you going to give him credit?
The thing is, that's why I wouldn't let any Rigondeaux fans give me that bullshit when Rico got beat. Oh, he's 2 weak weight divisions. He hasn't fought for a year. You know what I mean? I don't care. He took the fight. He was calling for the fight. He took the fight. He got his ass whooped. Conversation over. Do you know what I mean? That would be the same with Fury. If Fury goes in there, gets his ass whooped, then you got to give Wilder the credit, like we give Lomachenko. He did the job. It's not his fault. Fury's not at his best. Fury should have been at his best. He shouldn't have took the fight if he wasn't.
I believe that Tyson Fury is worth more in getting that W in your resume because he never lost his titles in the ring.
Well, listen, that's a big. I agree with Recognize when he says, I don't think Tyson Fury is a lineal champ because he retired. So when you retire, that means you vacate the belt. So I don't consider him the lineal champ.
Yeah, it's like it's Lennox Lewis a lineal champion.
Well, I think Gene Tunney was Gene Tunney was the lineal champ at one time, retired and beaten, and so who took it off him? I mean, we're going to go back.
Lewis.
But we're going to keep going back and back because when you try to work out who the real lineal champion is, it's hard to really work out.
You're going to keep going in circles if you keep doing it.
You are.
Yeah. Look, that's what pisses me off about this whole to be the lineal champion. Was a manufactured champ. He picked his belts up out of a bin and this, that, and the other. I mean, he fucking fought fights to win the belts. I
know this is going to piss Wilder fans off, but to me, the lineal champion is Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, to me, he's the
lineal should mean the top guy of the division. It doesn't mean that if you got this belt or that belt or if you beat the man or you didn't beat the man. The top guy of the division should be the lineal champion. Just like when Kovalev had all them belts, he should have been the lineal champion in the light heavyweight division, not Stevenson, who fought nobody. Do you know what I mean?
And by the way, let's also add to that.
If we get into the leftovers, then we can say that Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury's leftovers.
Let's also add that just because you win all the belts doesn't make you linear. Because you could grab all the 4 belts, but if you didn't beat the number 1 guy, the consensus number 1 guy, those belts don't mean shit. Anybody can win a belt.
Yeah, but my point is, how do we know who the top guy is? And then
it's a bit of Joshua because Fury retired.
You usually go by if the guy's got 3 belts. If the guy's got 3 belts, the likelihood is he's probably the best guy in the division, isn't it?
Yeah, look at his resume as well. Out of the 3 of them, Joshua's got the best resume, and he's done it in the least number of fights. So for me, that's got to mean something.
Right. By the way,
I think Anthony Joshua. Look, before I say this, I think Anthony Joshua is a bit of a protective fighter, right? Just like all these top guys are. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's a few exceptions that are not in that position, like a guy like Povetkin, who's a top fighter, but he's in no position to be a protective fighter right now, right? So with that being said, the reason why, for the reasons that so many fans hate Anthony Joshua, is the reason why I like him. That's the reason why I personally like Anthony Joshua. And I don't sit here and tell you I think Anthony Joshua is the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest fighter that ever did it or anything like that. It's just there's certain things about the kid that I like that he's.
Yeah, I said it before, man. He's in my top 5, pound for pound.
In the chat, like Mateus listens, the chat says the last time we had a true linear champion was Maloney still had a dick.
I wanted to read that comment, but
you were gonna read it?
Yeah, but I was waiting for a moment to slip that one in there. No pun intended. But listen, guys make a good.
I mean, he wants to go back to Frank, but I just have to. even if he got it sewed back on, I mean, we're not going to clash him as a man anymore. Are we?
All right, you guys are disgusting me with this close-minded bigotry. But listen, you guys make a good point about this. Tyson Fury and the belts and the lineal. You know that they're going to push this whole lineal stuff in order to.
And they should.
And they should. Yeah, why not?
In the marketing ploy, they should, BDA, because that's what I would be doing. I'll be doing the same thing. But I'm not in that position.
Most of Joshua's belts are his. Most of Joshua's belts are his. You've got to look at it like that.
To me, like I said, I don't have a horse in the race. The lineal champion, the man, or just forget the lineal. Who's the man at heavyweight? That's Anthony Joshua, and Povetkin's going to get his chance. The guy that I heavyweight fighter for a long time in terms of resume and technique. I think he's going to get a shot. And that's the reason why I respect Anthony Joshua, although I think the fight is in his favor to win.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of fucking angles you could take. I mean, I know you guys. You guys are a bunch of hustlers. You're looking at the angles right away. You're looking at all the angles. Maybe this happens. Maybe that happens. Maybe this guy, he's the bigger star. So
I was born a hustler, man.
Was that? I didn't hear what you said.
When I was born, I was hustling already.
Well, there you go. And you saw this whole NFL male cheerleaders thing coming from a mile away as well. So I got to give you credit for that.
Yeah, man. I did see this coming. I knew this was going to happen.
What an embarrassment it is.
Come on. Why you got to be so close-minded?
I tell
Apology,
you what, mate,
back me
the
up
day
here.
I see that on the pitch, I'm writing on the pitch.
Apology, back me up, man.
Can you imagine the football fans where you're from, Stu?
Just put it this way.
Male cheerleaders.
Just put it this way. The stewards wouldn't save him. Just put it that way.
Yeah, they'd be throwing hot cups of tea and fucking pies at him and everything, man.
Oh, mate, the pies would be the least of his problems.
Imagine you're in the US. You have a bunch of friends. You're drinking beer, watching TV. They're watching an NFL game. Then they start zooming in on those fucking cheerleaders.
Imagine they see me on a cheer. Imagine they see me on a cheerleader.
Ball sack.
The Detroit Lions boxing dens.
Yeah, imagine they see me on a cheerleader. He's got a big ass and he turns around and it's a man.
Jeez.
Wait till next season.
I almost threw up in my mouth just thinking about that, man.
He's got like pigtails, and he turns around. He's got a big fucking beard, like.
You start zooming on the cheerleaders, and everybody's like, "There's an awkward silence."
The 49ers,
78 doing fucking flips and shit in the air.
Yeah, I was just saying the 49ers are replacing their cheerleaders with men as we speak, aren't they? In good old California, ElDude.
Oh man!
Now why you gotta go after California, man?
You sure
there is.
Hey, that's why the 49ers left. That's why the 49ers left San Francisco.
You're over there, don't you?
They got Eddie Hearns trying to recruit everybody in San Francisco, taking out there the UK and shit.
I don't want your money. I just want your mouth.
If there's a fucking weirdo around, California will find them.
Okay, come on.
She got a great ass.
But no, seriously, imagine
you guys come around Halloween. Shit, you should see how many fucking weirdos come out on Halloween time. Shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
god, I can imagine.
Yeah.
You can't tell who's
on a normal, Halloween come out on a normal day. Never mind Halloween. I mean, fuck's sake.
Where are
Strange.
you, Stu?
Right.
Where in the UK are you?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Well, wait a minute. That brings up a good point because you say you saw two guys having.
No, he lives in San Francisco, downtown San Francisco.
Oh,
He was still alive.
He's not in the UK, man.
Yeah.
That's why he knows so much of the US. That's why he's so familiar. He knows everything.
Yeah,
He lives down the street.
No, I live
By
on a
the way,
pig farm.
this is a good opportunity to let
yeah.
everybody know that
I'll tell
Adrian
you right
Broner,
now,
as you know.
New York, Manhattan is a spooky place on Halloween.
Oh, I
I'll tell you
bet.
that.
It's like the Warriors. Listen, you all know that Adrian Broner is a rapper, and I think I played this before, but just for the new listeners that maybe haven't, this is Adrian Broner's new rap song. It's actually true. You can look it up on his Instagram page.
I think about this dude that I fucked last night, and how his dick was big and his ass was tight, sucking on my cock like a candy cane, rubbing on my balls and fucking out my brains.
I mean, I don't go for that type of rap music, but
Sounds like
That's gay. He sounded like Too Short, man. Like these guys are Too Short. He's trying to copy Too Short.
What he said? Rubbing on my. What he said?
well, let me play it again because people were
It
talking.
sounded
Let
to me
me
like
play
he
it
said
again.
rubbing on my cock and fucking out my
I'll
brain.
play it again. Hold on. I'll play it again.
Sounds like an LDBC hangout.
Hold on, I'll play it again. I gotta play this shit again because people didn't hear it.
I think about this dude that I fucked last night, and how his dick was big and his ass was tight, sucking on my cock like a candy cane, rubbing on my balls and fucking out my brains.
What the fuck?
No.
What the
Are you sure that's him? Are you sure that's him?
Yeah, that's him.
Some LDBC shit right there. Huh?
That was real homosexual right there.
That's some male cheerleader shit. That is.
I was in LDBC talking about De La Hoya and shit.
The fight scout says, "Oh shit! Everybody fell off again." Okay, I'll take this opportunity.
There you go, man. Can he? What is it doing? This guy on air.
Yeah, listen, I'll take this opportunity to read what people are saying in the chat room. The fight scout says, "LOL, gay ass apology." Nino Gadget says, "The NBL National Broke Bike League." The fight scout says. The fight scout says BDA had those lyrics ready. Think about that. I'm prepared. I do research before I come on the air. You know, before Bucho and I come on the air, we got this stuff prepared, baby. We don't come here with
BDA,
our dicks in our
wait,
hand.
I gotta ask you a question because I know.
Go ahead.
I know how you are. Okay, no point intended. But you sure that's Broner?
Absolutely. What, you think I'm gonna lie to you or the audience? You think I'm gonna make jokes about this?
Yeah, I think that song is called Little Brother, Big Brother.
I heard a rumor you were ghostwriting from BDA. That's not true, is it?
Now wait a minute. You gotta watch it there, because if you keep talking like that, I'm gonna invite you over to my house.
I bet BDA produced the album.
So what if I did? What if I did? Let's say I did. You close-minded, you bigot. You live in San Francisco of all places. We just found that out. You are lying. You're not living in the UK.
ElDude exposed where Stewart really lives at.
That's right.
It's like, just don't tell anyone.
Now, obviously, that wasn't Adrian
That's why he's
Broner.
willing to kill someone. Shit.
but
Yeah, well, I mean,
Stu, we gotta go back to that.
If I lived in San Francisco, I think I'd have killed myself by now.
Oh, Stu, we gotta go back to that. You said you were walking around.
Doesn't make sense.
Stu, you said you were walking around and you saw two people having homosexual sex. Where the hell were you walking around? That's gotta be San Francisco.
Well, I never said anything about seeing homosexuals.
Did he say that in the beginning of the show?
There ain't nobody around where I live. Fucking anything I see humping is fucking rabbits.
BDA, you're hearing things. Is that
Maybe
your
I am.
projection?
You're right. Maybe it's too
The only
much
thing-
research.
The only homosexual sex Stewart is running two outside. It's like maybe two male pigs going at it, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Pigs.
After they've just eaten one of my victims, they get a bit horny.
Are you Pavel
We
all
should
of a
change
sudden?
subject, or we're gonna get YouTube.
Yeah, we gotta go.
And by the way,
People love this
Bucho,
stuff. We're talking about homosexuals and LD.
We're LGBT, LDBC friendly over here. So.
that's right.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure we say that. But
Yeah, you guys
oh,
that live in Canada. It's so sad. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let me tell you something. I'm proud to have Justin Trudeau as my prime minister. All right. So if you guys wanna, if you guys have anything to say against Justin Trudeau, you say it to me first. All right. You gotta get through me first.
Hashtag people kind.
Hey, now wait a minute.
God.
Now wait a minute.
Hashtag people kind.
I nearly threw up in my mouth when I heard it.
I mean, do you guys see the way he sits? He sits like a fucking bitch.
Hey.
News alert. Fuck me, it's trending we were talking about here.
You know, the guy can
apologies.
box.
Don't talk about BDA's Justin Trudeau like that, all right?
That's right. The guy can box, by the way. The guy can box. And
what do you think about the Davis against Abner Maris?
But
Is that official?
Butcho
is that official?
Butcho thinks Butcho, I thought Canada was free. If they shut this down for saying something about your prime minister, then that is fucked up. You are living in a controlled state, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Wait, wait, hold on. Are they both gay?
Who?
Mahrez and Gervonta Davis.
I don't know about Maris, but I
thought
definitely
Mahrez was
think.
gay, wasn't he?
Wait, what? Abner Maris? No, I think you're confusing him with.
I think you're talking about Orlando Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either him or you're confusing him
They
with
all
Victor
look the
Ortiz.
same, so I couldn't tell.
Apology, man.
No, that's what's the matter?
Hey, but still, man, regardless of Gervonta Davis versus Abner Mares, man, that's still going to be a good fight.
But the thing is, at 130, Maris already at 126 is too heavy, in my opinion.
That Davis just smashed Maris to pieces.
He's 5'4" or some shit, man. Well, then again, Tank Davis is 5.
Yeah, I favor Davis on that one. I favor Davis.
Yeah, me too.
Maris is nowhere near the fight.
Robert Garcia training style.
He's nowhere near the fight he used to be, man. Nowhere near. He used to be.
He was a bantamweight. He was a good bantamweight. He has strength and everything.
Very good, he was, but not a lightweight. He's not. Is that where it is? 130.
He got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, he's gonna be at 130. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Whip out your cocks. Come on.
All right, now it's interesting. I don't know what happened there, but okay. So Abner Maris, Butcher brings up a good point. Abner Maris, I think he's a little too out of his depth, and it is interesting that Tank Davis, people are starting to give him a little bit more credit now than they were a year ago. Because let's face it, the guy does have good skills and he does have that power. But I think a good boxer, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I think a good boxer is going to give him a lot of troubles. And Abner Maris can box a little bit when he wants to.
Abner Maris is gonna get sparked out, man.
Yeah. no chance.
You know what's going to be a good fight? I think that Sean Porter, Danny Garcia is going to be very entertaining.
Huh.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Sean Porter's gonna try to make it entertaining, but Danny Garcia might try to box like he did what's his name? Matisse.
Yeah, I don't think
from the outside.
I don't think Danny Garcia is an entertaining fighter at all, to be honest with you.
He's not entertaining, but he definitely has that knockout potential, man. And I got Danny I'm favoring Danny in that particular fight.
I disagree. His power's overrated. You do knock out Khan. That's it. Who doesn't knock out Khan?
I mean, I think if you look at Garcia's knockout ratio, I think
it's on a decline.
56. I might be.
Yeah, he's definitely heavy-handed.
It's not much.
Yeah, good.
Got a Wilder record or anything like that, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got Porter winning that.
I think he's got power to hurt you, but I don't think he's got that. Just because he knocked Amir Khan out.
140.
Yeah,
exactly.
140. Yeah.
This is 147 now. Robert Guerrero, he couldn't knock him out.
But it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good fight
will.
because he's a counter puncher, and this kid is gonna. Sean Porter is gonna give him counter punching opportunities.
Yeah.
I think what's going to end up. This is what I think is going to happen. Porter's going to be strong enough to take it, but let's see. Let's see if he could. Granados gave him a good fight.
Yeah, I think one thing with Danny Garcia, very very strong kid. I think Sean Porter's got. I don't think Sean Porter's going to be able to bully him as much as he's bullied a lot of fighters. I think Garcia's quite strong in the hold.
But then.
I think work rate. Sean Porter brings a lot of work rate to the table. Danny Garcia, very, very lackluster sometimes. He picks his moments to throw punches. He doesn't really chase a fight and get on the front foot. He's always on the back foot and picking.
All right, now you First of all,
he's done a great job versus brawlers though, man, and good brawlers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Such as
I agree
Brandon
with
Rios.
that.
That's a top
Brandon
tier
Rios,
brawler who he finished off. You got
Brandon
Bradley,
Rios,
Robert
absolutely useless.
Robert
Brandon
Guerrero.
by Tim Bradley, feather-fisted Tim Bradley. Like, come on, really?
That's true.
Rios is absolutely useless. Honestly,
Well,
his
I
hand
Was a
is
135 fighter, 135, then moved up in weight and. I
Robert
mean,
Ghost
come on.
Guerrero. I mean, these are good brawlers, man. I mean, not elite, but they're good brawlers. Inside the
Yeah,
pocket, he does a good job.
They're good
and he's
brawlers.
not bad. I mean, I don't know. I disagree with Apology. I think he's saying that Garcia is like kind of a bum. He's
Oh
not a
I
bum.
no, he's not a
Well,
bum.
not a bum. I don't know what you said exactly.
Robert
rate him,
Guerrero.
man.
Robert Guerrero's it was another 135 fighter at his best. As soon as he started, moved it to 147. Just never looked the same fighter. Couldn't bully his way around like he used to. And let's be real, we had one good performance at Robert Guerrero against Berto, and he got beat up himself that night. So I don't just don't.
No, but
Come on, Berto. Berto went
but
12 rounds.
Guerrero was moving up just like Danny moved up himself.
I had Guerrero winning that fight. Yeah,
That's a
Guerrero
good
won
point.
that fight. But
Danny
Berto
moved up.
too.
Yeah,
Sorry?
but that's 7 pounds
Danny moved
compared
up.
to 12.
But
The
Guerrero
fact remains.
had that experience with Floyd Mayweather, and he also had that fight with Andre Berto.
He's asking
Yeah,
for 12 rounds. I mean, what
Yeah,
experience is that?
Look,
What
guys,
experience is that?
the fact remains
when did-
that this is a very
now,
good
wait a
fight
minute.
between two top welterweights. It's a very good
Berto
fight.
went 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. Okay.
Oh my god.
Is
Oh,
that
yeah, that's true.
Oh, man, come on.
We're going back to that
How
one.
many,
huh?
how many guys can say they went 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather?
Exactly.
Well, I
And by the
think-
way,
And not only that, but
Name
the
them.
economic backing.
Recently, I think everyone.
But apart from that,
it's not Conor
Mayweather,
McGregor,
you get that.
so-
hold on,
that
guys. One at a
economic
time. One at a
backing
time.
allows you to build a bigger gym, to hire more staff. I mean, it eases a lot of your stresses. So, and not only that, but the experience to go through all those media, places. I mean, you get that experience mentally. I think it does prepare you for bigger fights.
Yeah.
I think Guerrero wasn't not a. He wasn't at his best, but he was at a very well positioned to fight Danny, and he destroyed Guerrero, man. He destroyed him.
Yeah,
who doesn't destroy Guerrero? Come on.
That's a good point. But okay, I know we're analyzing, dissecting fucking Danny Garcia, but let's look at Sean Porter. Danny Garcia. Okay, he fought Adrian Granados. I mean, do you want to talk about a fucking brawler fight with no technique? Andre Berto. Come on, he beat Andre Berto. Keith Thurman, good fight. Then before that, Adrian Broner. I mean, he has some good wins, but
Well, hold
he's
on,
not
hold
impressive
on,
at
hold
all.
on. Bucho,
Yeah,
you
I
get
know
what
what
you're
you
trying to
mean.
say,
He's
but
not-
those
he's
were
not
pretty
like-
good
he's
wins,
not-
man.
He's
Yeah,
not
but those were
separating
pretty.
himself where
Those
I
were pretty
say
good wins.
Danny
Those were
Garcia
pretty
has
good wins.
no shot. Like I can't say that.
Against
Yeah.
Kell
I think I give him the edge, and I say I'm going with Porter to win, but I give Danny a hell of a shot at winning that fight.
Can I say that
You know,
here's the thing about the styles. Here's the thing about the styles. Bucho brought up the good. Sean Porter has had some good wins, but here's my main criticism of Sean Porter is he tends to make for boring, sloppy fights. For example, yeah, he looked good against Malignaggi, and he looked good, against who else did he stop impressive? Well, I mean, he stopped Andre Berto, okay, but for every one of those good-looking performances, there's a clinching brawl, like against Devon Alexander. That was a fucking boring fight after the fourth round. Both guys were clinching every time. Against Adrian Broner, one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Against Granados, again, fucking boring fight. Kell Brook, well, that was mostly Kell Brook doing the holding. But you see what I'm saying? He doesn't, for a guy that jumps forward and that comes forward, he doesn't really make for that many entertaining fights. And Danny Garcia, although he doesn't hit as hard as Mike Tyson does, he is pretty heavy-handed, and he might have a shot here of making the fight close.
Yeah, it's definitely a close fight. I don't think Sean Porter's going to steamroll Danny Garcia. Problem with Sean Porter, what you said is right, and the reason is because he smothers his own work. He doesn't. He doesn't
Yeah,
give.
he does, man. He does.
Doesn't give himself enough room to get on the end of his shot, sort of thing, and to put him in the right place. He just smothers his own work, and he's just sloppy. And but I think his heart and his will to win and his strength, gets him wins. If you know what I mean.
This is why I'm going with Danny Garcia. I think Sean Porter, because his sloppiness, rushing in, trying to bull rush his way in there and press him up against the ropes. I think he's going to play in favor of Danny Garcia because Danny's a good timer. He's a great timer. He's a great
He
counter
is,
puncher.
but
He's gonna
ElDude,
catch him.
could Danny handle the pressure? I mean, look what Lamont Peterson did to Garcia, and Lamont is way smaller.
Walked him back.
Towards the end,
he clinched a lot. He clinched it and he ran a lot. A very distinctive fight. Where
yeah,
Sean Porter's going to come forward.
Yeah, exactly. Towards the end, Lamont Peterson was coming forward, and Danny couldn't handle it. So what do you think Porter's going to do to him?
No, I agree with you, but I think that was Danny's stamina issues, and I think he's already fixed that because when he went up against Keith Thurman, I mean, he tried to put up that fight. He fought differently than he fought.
I think,
of course, what Thurman was on the back foot. Go ahead.
I think Porter is very hard to counter, and the reason he's hard to counter is because he comes in very low and he charges in at you. And
fucking strong, man. When you got a guy coming in that low
and that low,
that strong
fast,
is hard.
He charges you, and
But I tell you,
he just can't. And then once he's in 30 seconds before he can get the guy off you. So this and it just drains you. I think it's a mental warfare that Sean Porter.
You know what I'm going to pay attention to? What I'm looking forward to is that I'm sure you guys realize that Danny Garcia is a lefty, right? He just fights orthodox. He's one of those guys that feels comfortable fighting with his power hand as his lead, as his lead weapon, right? So if he can counter, it puts him in perfect position to counter that type of fighter, those low end kind of fighters, the way Sean Porter. If he could hurt him, that's what I meant to say. He might win this fight, and he might win this fight convincingly. That's how. I'm trying to look at it as a game plan. How would I stop a guy like that? Well, maybe I want to use my lead, my power hand as my lead weapon, my jab, in order to like turn those into hooks. And Danny Garcia could do that. So
that's how
he could hurt him, which I don't think he could. I'm gonna say I don't know for sure. I don't think he could, but if he could hurt him, it's a different fight. He might win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Coming in when he's coming in.
I think Brooke beat him on timing. Before Sean Porter would rush in, he was catching him with jabs and knocking him off balance. He would lead him with right hands as well, and then just holding him and when he got inside. So I think that was a very good tactic that Kell Brook used.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. What Brooke was able to gain his respect with his jab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be paying attention for, because his jab, Danny Garcia's jab, is his power hand. He's a lefty, I can tell. That's why he's very heavy. That's why he's very heavy front-footed. You know what I'm saying? He's like he's one of those guys that plants his front foot instead of kind of bouncing on, like tippy-toe a little bit. He digs in because that's his power hand.
That's a fucking good point. I didn't know that he does. You're right, because it's really the left hook that's his biggest weapon. Kind of reminds me of De La Hoya, another southpaw that fought as a righty. All right, guys, we do have to go at this point, but just before we do, Tommy Boxeo says if Garcia loses, he'll go into porn. I don't know what that means or where he came up with that, but I don't think Danny Garcia is going to be doing.
He looks like the type. He looks like the type, man.
Really? What is that type?
I'm going to go out and say that Danny wins this fight by knockout.
Whoa.
He was.
ElDude making bold picks.
That's right.
Dude's going to
get the 8th round. It's on the record. On the 8th round, man.
The power. I'm telling you guys, Garcia does not have the power.
I don't know.
Here's how I see this fight going down. This is how I'm going to play it down right here. I think Porter's going to have advantage early in the rounds. He's going to be winning the rounds. He's going to get careless. He's going to get caught. He's going to get hurt, and he's going to get dropped.
Yeah, but you're going to get back up and just beat the shit out of him. Like, Garcia couldn't knock out Malignaggi. He couldn't knock him out cold. And that's an old-ass Malignaggi.
Malignaggi is a boxer, an elusive boxer, fights on the outside. Sean Porter, I think he's going to get caught coming inside.
He will get caught. I'm just saying he doesn't have the power to knock him out.
No, but I mean, I think being reckless coming in, with his
Yeah,
hands
of
down trying to
course,
push.
definitely will get caught. But I'm just
I think he's
saying
gonna
it's
get.
not going to be enough.
Well,
I
there
don't
you
know,
guys
man. More
have
of
it.
I think he's gonna be knocked out. I think he's gonna get knocked out.
I can't
Not
wait to
not
see
a,
that
not a
fight.
one punch, not a one punch knockout. Don't get me wrong. It'll be more of an accumulation of punches, but
I don't
definitely
see it.
in a
I
knockout.
can't wait to
Can't
see
see
that
that.
fight. It's gonna be a nice
When does it take place again?
It's gonna be a great fight. It's
September.
gonna be a great fight.
September. I'm looking it up here.
The week before Canelo and G.
Ah, yes, you're right. It's September the 8th. Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia, and
It's like
Garcia.
3 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's true. HBO at the same night. HBO has a triple header: Juan Francisco Estrada versus Felipe Urrucuta, Donny Nietes versus Aston Palicte, and Kazuto Ioka taking on Mike Williams Arroyo. That seems to be the best fight on paper right there. I don't know who Felipe Urrucuta is, but anyway,
I'll make my official pick when that fight gets closer.
yeah, you're gonna have to
makes
make
that fight as well with Samuel Vargas on the same day.
Samuel Vargas versus who?
I think you're cutting off, man. Maybe you should end it now. Fuck.
Amir Khan versus Samuel Vargas. Yeah, that's what he said in Birmingham, England. I mean, listen, Amir Khan deserves a couple of tune-ups, considering he went up to 160 to fight Canelo Alvarez, who's
Amir
really
Khan's chin is a tune-up.
Oh, now wait a minute. Why do you gotta say that about Amir Khan?
I got it carried away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did get a little bit. You got a little bit carried away. A little bit.
No, I didn't.
All right, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink.
All right.
All right, listen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry too.
I'm sorry too. All right, go get your fucking shine box. Listen, guys, thanks for being on.
Motherfucker.
We're gonna recite the whole fucking film. I want to thank everybody that jumped in on board here for the hangout. I want to thank Recognize the Matrix. I want to thank Tommy Boy, who was here as well. I want to thank Cameron, was here earlier. Stu, ElDude, Apology.
Peace,
gentlemen. All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, see you guys.
Have a good night.
All right, see you guys. Peace.
All right, thanks for being on, guys. Butcher, who else was on? Who did I miss?
Cameron, KIWI Boxing.
KIWI Boxing, yes. Abstract, yeah, another guy. Yeah, I think I was almost forgetting him. So yeah, guys, Jesus, Luis, thanks again for being on. Let's just can't forget Steven Schneider for the generous contribution via our what's it called? Patreon. Thanks again, Steven Schneider, bringing us one step closer to this call-in show, which we might have to end up partially funding ourselves, or Bucho.
Yeah.
Want to thank We Degree, Fabio, AA Boxing, Blunts, Boxing Killers TV, Overhand, AZ, Ganstas, Mateus Lise, John Gonzalez, Rod T. Davies was here as well. We Degree, Tommy was in there as well. Hawker Mustang. You guys know who you are. You make this show what it is. Chris Gonzalez was in here, I think, as well. Nino Gadji, Overhand. Bunch of people in the chat room. If I forgot anybody, Fight Scout, you guys know who you are. And I want to talk a little bit more about Vladimir Klitschko, the video that I did. And that's, got a little bit heated things. Not heated, the debate got a little lively with a bunch of people there. Same thing with the Earl Spence video. Same thing with the video that Bucho did about Triple G and Andrew Ward. Man, we're starting to... A lot of pit pieces here. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in a midweek podcast. Take care, fellas. Have a good night.